Hey, hello, viewer. Today it is a Sunday, August the 6th, 2023. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very well today. On this evening stream backslash podcast, we are discussing the goings on this week in the entertainment and on the social media. But before we begin, and it's a big but, you can find us here on the YouTube. You already know that. Or if you prefer your entertainment in the podcast form, we are also on the Spotify. The links are in the description. So if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through, shall we get the guests out? You know it. Of course we should. Okay, first up, we see the good inside our next guest. Don't mention Barbie. He is the wonderful, dark Sith Lord Jord. Little Platoon.
Good evening.
Hello, Lord. How are you?
Oh, too long to list all of the reasons why the answer to that is bad, but happy to be here.
It's great to have you on, mate. Shall we
Great
get the
to
next
be
guest
back.
out?
Sounds like a plan.
Great to have you on, mate. Okay. From a VPN far, far away, it's the golden reach around droid of choice. You know who it is.
It's me. Hello, everybody.
Hello, me. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Mr. Brown, and hello to the little platoon, the other guests, and our chat.
Shall we get the next guest out?
Oh, let's get straight into it, sir.
Is that
One
what
might be forgiven for taking the impression you're in a hurry.
Perhaps. Next, he's the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. He's the great mega geek himself. Pac-Man. Ow, ow, ow.
Shall we get the next guest out?
Yes. And there were other guests, but not turned up. But a mystery guest, everybody. And last but by no means least, a mystery guest. Hello.
Mr. Well, he's a mystery, isn't he? So
hello, everyone. I know that I'm only here because the really good guest turned you down.
Yes.
And says, "Oh my God, what have we got left? Maybe Paul will do it."
Call me Chato, everybody.
Call me Chato. Here I am.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm here live and in person. No, I'm feeling very good. It's been
great to have you on, mate.
And it's a holiday here, a statutory holiday tomorrow here in the Great White North. So nice. I can chill out today. We're our DVD of Young Frankenstein came in this morning by Amazon, and the family is going to sit down and watch.
I love that film.
Nice.
So, love it. I think it's very funny.
It's an important film. Very funny. Yes.
To you or in general?
To me, it's well written, and it doesn't have the failings of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Or Men in Tights. So there you go.
Oh, don't even get me started on
Men in Tights.
Yeah.
So you well, Paul. Great to have you on, mate.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Nice to see all of you.
I think it's been overdue, mate.
Yeah, and Z, I don't think I've ever met you before, but my pleasure.
Oh, we have streamed before, sir.
Under the same title?
Under the Mr. Brown, yes.
Oh, under Mr. Brown, yes. Okay, but okay. You're so memorable.
I'm so instantly forgettable, sir.
Right then, folks. Shall we get on with it? I think we should.
Let's do it.
I think we should. Okay. Episode 156, end of week musings, Sunday, August 6, 2023. Barbie. No wonder she's smiling.
It's made a crap load of money.
Yeah, what's the anyone know what the receipts are this weekend?
We just know it's a billion.
Hasn't hit a billion yet.
It has.
It has?
Yeah.
Wow. I think last time I read anything, it was due to hit the billion this weekend. I think it was only done it.
CNN reported 5 hours ago it's hit 1.03 billion at the global box office.
How much was that, Z? 1 point what? 1.0. 3 billion.
That's the
I took my headphones off for that one.
Well, your ears gone, everybody. Okay, if you've made it this far, you're enjoying this content, please like, share, subscribe. Every single clip, can't speak. Every single click will help this channel grow.
like and subscribe now, because it's not going to get any better than this.
Exactly.
No, 3K is approaching. Come on, fellas and peeps and ladies and however you identify.
Are we still doing that 12-hour Attack of the Clone stream?
We are. If we can get to 3K, yes. Please consider donating. Channel links, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Okay. Anybody watching this? Episode 2 dropped this week.
No.
Is it just me?
Catty's watched it, isn't he? But he's not here.
He's sick, isn't he?
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
Is it that bad?
What?
Futurama?
Sick or Futurama?
Both. Well, no, the implication being that Futurama could potentially have been so bad it made him sick. No, never mind. No, but I never really got into Futurama. I tried a few years ago. I just never really did. I liked The Simpsons for a while until that went kind of bland. But Futurama just never really appealed to me. Maybe I haven't given it enough of a go.
I think
I'm not
you
a
should
big
give it a
fan, but I have watched a couple episodes.
I'm there with Platoon.
go.
It is quite funny.
Did not apart from individual and specific episodes, it was a lot of stunting based on historical gags. That for me. I mean, there's lots of juxtaposition humor, which is dead simple to write.
If I may, I'm being very rude. Hello, chat. We can see you. Hello, chats.
I don't know. It's I've watched a lot of episodes, but I'm not really a big fan of it. But I have watched episodes. The episodes I've watched were very funny and very entertaining, and also very clever. Some of them are as well, storytelling wise. So
yeah. But having Richard Nixon under glass doesn't get much funnier than that.
Well, there was one episode where there was a whole civilization. Bender was floating in space, and the whole civilization was created on his stomach. That was quite clever. And they thought he was God, obviously. So that was quite a clever episode. I thought was very clever. But
didn't The Simpsons already do that? I'm sure there's the Simpsons episode where Lisa puts her tooth in a vial of Coke, and then the culture grows up, and then they think that she's God.
That kills them.
But then the Simpsons did it as kind of a meme in comedy, though, isn't it? Like everything has been done by The Simpsons already.
Which is Matt Groening. Which was
same guy.
Which is Futurama also.
So I'm going to say something very heretical. Futurama, for me as a writer, has the same problem as Space 1999, in that the characters don't want to be where they end up being. And what's his name? The lead in this,
Fry
is here by accident. Doesn't want to be here, so there's no motivation for him to be there. So I have a problem with that style of writing. And Space 1999 was exactly the same. Oh no, the moon blew out from Earth's orbit. We don't want to be here.
Did you like it though, Space 1999?
Occasionally, yeah. When the alien woman showed up with the funny eyebrows,
Maya, yeah,
I really loved her. She was good.
Okay.
Then they got rid of the Canadian actor, Morse.
Oh, he was great.
He was good.
Season 1 was good, and then the Americans took over, and it just got crap.
Anyway, that's just it's just my writing style. I don't tend to like characters who have found themselves in a situation and are not motivating the story forward.
Like Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
That's that whole point of it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Here you go. In the chat, Space 1999 was super.
Hey,
get in the bin, chatter.
I'm just telling you. Listen, I don't, and I'm an Anderson nut going back to Supercar. Okay, don't shit on me. I mean, I loved, Fireball XL5. A huge fan of all that stuff.
Because they were toys, weren't they? As a kid, they were really great toys. I want one.
I had all the not the Fireball XL5.
You're a Thunderbirds fan, aren't
Thunderbird, huge Thunderbird fan.
Oh,
I had them all. Matchboxes, original Matchboxes. I've got them still.
Yes.
I remember Stingray when that came out. I was very young.
Stingray. Love it.
Did it.
And there was a Stingray toy in the shops, but I never got one though. Kept asking my dad, but he never got it for me. So there you go.
That didn't
Well,
last long, that show.
Well,
No,
if you did get one, Mega Geek, your brother would have smashed it up anyway.
exactly.
Okay. I will say, folks, episode 2 dropped of Futurama.
Was it
It's
good?
good. Yeah,
No?
it's good. It's good. Yeah.
No.
It's not gone down the dark path, so I'm still enjoying it. So
Oh, and
Twi-
no one says you shouldn't.
2 episodes in, and it's just good to see the old. Sometimes it's just like wearing a comfortable pair of shoes. But anyway, shall we move on? Yes.
I mean, if you want to watch an interesting old show that is way better than you might have anticipated, is the first season of Beverly Hillbillies. Just absolutely insanely good writing. Very clever, especially for its time.
I never saw that when I was a kid.
Oh man, I saw we got the re-release of it, and we're just
Was it
sitting there
black and
stunned.
white, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Buddy
Anyway.
Epson, wasn't it?
Yep.
Buddy Epson.
And he plays it totally straight. And you're going, my memory of it was, wow, everyone is so wacky. And they are to a point. And then you go, wow, Buddy Epson just anchored the thing. Anyway, keep going. I'm just rambling.
Okay, so this one dropped this week.
Yep.
This is creating quite a stir. I know. Anybody see the Dave Cullen video earlier?
Yes.
Dave was not happy.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did. I did see it.
Not happy.
I did see his review of this.
Has anybody actually seen the episode? Because I've seen loads of clips from it, but I don't care enough to go and watch it.
Nor do I.
I bailed.
I bailed also.
I stopped watching this halfway through the first season.
I wasn't fooled by the first episode of the first season. I knew it was going to go this way, so I wasn't going to waste my time. I saw the first episode and I thought to myself, this is going to go shit. And it did. So
There you go, Tom. Yeah, heinous crime. Yes.
To be fair, it's a fairly safe bet that, after episode 1, it probably will go shit. I don't know how many people would have predicted that it would go shit in precisely this way, though. Like, after episode 1, if you were saying, well, in a year's time, we'll get Star Trek the musical, and Spock will be singing, and the Klingons will be rapping, I don't think I would have predicted that one.
Here you go, Franco Walker. I nearly got 9 minutes into this episode. Couldn't watch.
It's just I have a problem with the casting, right? Michelle Nichols was a wonderful, gorgeous woman of color, and then they cast this one woman as it just didn't make any sense to me. Same thing with Spock, same thing with Captain Kirk. They're all miscast, and you get the feeling they're cast because of the politics, especially the way they look. So, and also somebody told me, because I don't watch it, somebody said to me that Lieutenant Uhura knew Klingon. But in the history of Lieutenant Uhura, she didn't know Klingon because that in Star Trek 6, I think it was.
Yeah, Star Trek 6.
So they don't know the history and they don't care. This is a bastardized version of Star Trek. That's basically what it is. It's not even Star Trek.
Even in the J.J. Abrams trilogy, they knew how to cast.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, didn't they? Zoe Saldana was an excellent Uhura.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was.
Yep, agreed.
I kept wanting to send her a sandwich, but
yeah. You know, she's in that new show, The Lionists. Right?
Yes.
And it's so crap because she is like a stick and she's in charge of this elite force in Iraq. I'm like, there's no way they would put someone as thin as her.
Oh, you're sticking. Have you watched a few episodes then?
I've watched a few.
Is it
it's
poop?
okay, but it's just very, very kind of woman-led thing. It's all right. It's all right. I got to admit.
There you go.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
talk
Paul.
to any Canadian military individual. I was talking with one the other day, and they said, yeah, we have a lot of women in the Corps, but if we are sent to the front, they never send a female soldier, no matter how qualified they are. And his point was, you're carrying a 60 to 80 pound load of, backpack.
Yeah.
And if one of your comrades gets shot, you are lifting that person or dragging another 200 plus pound individual out to safety because you are relying on each other to save each other. And you do everything in your power to do that. and there's no female that can do that, even if they can bench press or whatever. And I went, you know what? I never really thought of that, because you kind of romanticize the idea that, it'd be really good to have women on the front also. But then this guy said, nope. When push comes to shove, you will never find a woman on the front. And then you see shows like this, and it's just really hard to take.
Iceman in the chat. I think this is you, Paul. Bigot.
There's a scene in it, right, where this girl was being harassed by her boyfriend. He was really abusing, and she runs into this shop where they're recruiting for soldiers, and she ends up trying to she joins because she wants to get away from her abusive boyfriend. But there's this scene in that really made me laugh. She's really thin. She isn't thin like the other one.
Yeah.
But she does all these push-ups, right? They said, can you do 25 push-ups? And she does it, right? I'm like, there's no way that girl can do that.
She's a Q-tip. Q-tip. Yeah. I call them Q-tips.
All right. It's just those kind of things that happen in it. You just think
it's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
okay. So nobody watched this. I was even out of watching it for the stream. I just thought, should I?
No, not even morbid curiosity could compel me to watch this. I did look into it though. Like, the most entertaining thing I found about the episode is that something like it was originally planned for Picard season 1. That's where the idea came from. So they were interviewed. Obviously, the journalist was all up in arms about how brilliant the musical was, and asked the showrunners where it came from. Obviously, the answer to that question, as with most bad things in Star Trek, is Akiva Goldsman. But apparently, the idea was way back in Picard season 1. They were having a talk, and is it Chabon? I can't pronounce his. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He had mentioned in the writers' room that he knows Lin-Manuel Miranda, and so they all went into a sort of a schoolgirlish, excited buzz and said, "Oh, we should get him in. We can do a musical in Picard season 1," because everyone wanted to hear Patrick Stewart doing a Lin-Manuel Miranda rap. But Lin-Manuel Miranda did not return their calls, which actually makes me like him. And so now we get this instead. But I don't know. I think a Picard musical might actually have been quite entertaining. Not good, but traumatically bad, and therefore really good fun. Instead, we got this, which is
it'd been better than season 2. I know that. Lord, are you available to do a couple of super chats, please?
I am sure I can. Yes, from Wayland Persephus for $4.99. Dark Hour sent me. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? All seriousness, Mike Oxmal or Hugh Janus?
Oh my God.
Okay, I don't get that, but I'll.
It's the fake roll call in school. Is huge anus here?
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, very good.
These are roll call jokes.
Huge anus. Bend over.
Bend over. Gee, I love money. Is Rimsky cut your cock off? Is here?
Lord, this one, please.
Also from Wayland Persephus for $199. What do people expect to happen to women? Is that prisoners of war?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
I'm slightly confused about the context for that one.
It's a comment I made.
Oh, sorry. Right. Yes.
It's based on
sending women in infantry.
Yeah, to the front lines. It just does not happen. I mean, there's a lot of million other places, engineering, fixing stuff.
Although it did happen in Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was.
Are you suggesting that the Taliban doesn't have the same stance on women's bodily integrity as Western soldiers do? That sounds shocking to me. I'm reliably told all of the world is progressive.
They don't have the same standards for comedians. It's like they would never put me on the front line because I'd be screaming the entire time.
Does nobody remember Tanko?
Yeah, I remember Tanko.
Tank Girl?
No, Tanko. It was a TV series about the female prisoners of war.
Yeah,
by the Japanese. It was really good.
I liked
it. Louise James was in that, wasn't she? Louise James?
Pass.
Is it Louise James who played Leela in Doctor Who?
Not entirely sure.
Yeah, she was.
It was a long time ago. Z, are you available to do a super chat that matches your body?
I certainly am. Peter Pitrak for $9.99 says, "Live, middle-aged geeks forever." What is that? Live. Middle-aged geeks forever.
Live, yeah.
I am way past middle-aged.
Gavin Blackburn.
I'd like to think I'm not quite there yet, but the way I'm going,
Yeah,
You're
you
too
put a
young.
few
You're
years
too
on
young,
today,
Ben.
haven't you?
You're too young, Ben. You're too young, mate.
No, he's aged today. Gavin Blackburn for £2. Real money, folks. I watched it. It was terrible. I want to unwatch. I think
Wow.
it's Star Trek. And Eggs Beatty.
Man of few words.
Man of few words.
Brilliant.
£5. Real money. Thank you.
So to me, I've told people, especially individuals
boys.
that actually love this season of Star Trek. I have never encountered as many people commenting to me that I'm full of shit and I'm old and I don't understand what Star
No,
Trek
you're
is.
not.
And I tell them, like it, go ahead, like it. It's not Star Trek. This is something else. This is Buffy the Vampire Killer in space. And that's fine. I have nothing to do with it. But my argument to these people, and we're doing a video on this with Script Doctor, is that unless they had TOS to rape, this wouldn't exist.
It's true.
That's the bottom line. So stop
Jeez.
telling me it's Star Trek.
The thing I
Yeah.
hate about this new stuff is that women
All
of
of it.
color are never cast. They never cast a really good looking woman of color. When they put women of color in an episode or these shows these days, they're never that good looking. They're always kind of all right looking. You know, what happened to the Halle Berrys and the, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of, you know,
Zoe
Well,
Saldana's.
yeah,
Well, they
exactly.
cast Lizzo in Star Wars, didn't they? So that says it all.
But that
yeah.
was the other planet.
Bananas.
That was, they needed a planet to circle.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. That's the thing. When we were young, right,
Ugh.
we used to fancy all the girls that were on films and TV
Oh,
shows
yes,
and
beautiful.
stuff like that. And all they're doing is giving us medium
Munters.
looking. Yeah, well, I
If you
wouldn't
don't
Munters.
fancy Lizzo, I am reliably told you are a fat person racist. So you have to like her.
I like bananas, though.
I like bananas.
Okay.
I
You
had
don't wanna-
banana pancakes this morning, by the way.
Okay. So
banana with a tailpipe.
nobody watched. Nobody watched this, though. Okay.
No.
Oh, dear.
You know, most of the cast I like. It's just the shit they've been given. But anyway, let's move on.
There was one other very small piece of trivia about that. So the Klingon song at the end, they apparently recorded 2 versions, and one of them was much more of a strong-arm sort of opera type thing, which made plentiful reference to the Klingons. Apparently, I'm not that familiar with
can
Star
get
Trek lore, but I
Klingon
think the
opera,
Klingons
yes.
have some sort of musical history to their name, and
They have
that
opera,
sort of
yes.
Wagner-esque opera might be the thing. They recorded that apparently, and then they also recorded the Klingons as a boy band, and they went with that one instead.
God. Moving on.
Move on.
Okay, and then all the people started moaning, going, "How dare you?" Going about musical episode. Classic Trek took itself seriously and never had this crap. And then they've just done all the clips of.
Yes, but these were just scenes in episodes. It
Yeah.
wasn't a full episode of crap songs.
There were some funny treks, but they didn't abandon the science fiction roots. And those of us who like Star Trek, I mean, for us, it was the more serious of sci-fi on TV. And they've, okay, yes, they've completely abandoned science fiction in this version of Star Trek, which is, my point is, it's not Star Trek. Enjoy it for what it is. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer in space. I don't care. So you young things, you enjoy it. Great. Enjoy it. I don't care.
There's not a lot of people that enjoy this, though. And
There's tons.
Dave
No,
Cullen
it may
didn't.
seem that way because that's what they want you to think.
Oh, maybe.
Hardly anybody's watching the show, so
Well,
make of that as you will. Do you know
now
what I
the
mean?
ratings. Now, does anyone know what the ratings of this show is?
Nobody does. It's been disguised.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got more viewers on YouTube than this show gets on streaming, but
Exactly.
Yeah, it's disappointing. The cast is good. I like the people in it.
Yeah, I do as well.
But as a network executive, I would have run it completely differently, just from a success perspective.
Do you think, coming off the back of season 3 Picard, the success, Paramount genuinely thought they could just throw this out and we'll just lap it up?
Well,
this
this
was
was
done in
done.
production, wouldn't
This
it?
was in production in parallel,
Yeah.
so there was no learning from it, if that's what you're implying.
Yeah, this was okay. Star Trek's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, apart from Una, who they really don't give much work to, which I think they hate her
Rebecca
because
Romaine, she's great.
well, she's lovely and she's gorgeous, and she had
She's
that
done
stupid
nothing.
episode with the legal episode, which is the dumbest piece of shit.
Yeah.
That
Pike has done nothing.
Well, someone mentioned that he had a kid, and the kid was in distress, and he got leave to spend time with his child.
Fair enough.
So,
It's not
and
Star
for that,
Trek anyway.
yeah, for that, I'm just saying he's a pussy. leave the kid in the iron lung. Come and work it.
Show must go on. Okay.
Show must go on.
I will say I did enjoy Robert Picardo when he was on Voyager.
He was the best part of Voyager. His doctor. Immediately when I heard him speak and his attitude, I thought, I'm going to watch this show. I remember the first episode. He is brilliant. He's one of the best things about Voyager. Voyager isn't very good, but when he's on, he makes it better.
Disagree.
I think the concept is better than the delivery, I think, with Voyager. So I really like the idea, and you can see why Ronald Moore sort of took a lot of inspiration from that and then applied it to Battlestar Galactica, which he made much more along the lines that I think Voyager could potentially have gone down. There are still episodes of Voyager that I do really like. Just one more piece of thing that for some reason, bits and pieces of information about this show just keep popping back into my head. Kirk is in the musical episode of Strange New Worlds, isn't he?
Yes.
I think he has a song, and they reference his kid and his relationship with Dr. Marcus. And apparently, they might be doing more of that in the show going forward. So, if you thought the musical wasn't bad enough, they are also going to drag James Kirk along for the ride.
Yeah, but he doesn't know he has a kid in Wrath of Khan. He didn't know he had.
No.
So how could he know he had a kid?
I don't know if he knows that he has a kid, but they reference the complicated relationship which gives rise to the kid. So it depends how much they hove to canon, which, knowing these writers, will be not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he did find out overtly that he has a kid. But I think that they're definitely doing the backstory for that. That is their plan.
The main problem with the show is they have no idea who the lead is. And you watch the Rockford Files for James Garner. There it is, one person.
Yeah.
And you watch it week after week after week. And that is what network television is about. And the streaming services have no idea how to mix the best of both worlds from, movies.
They've hired people that don't know structure of script writing. They don't know it. And also they don't know, they're stupid enough to ignore the history of it and just write whatever they feel. Like everybody's insubordinate to the captain, it's ridiculous. It's just trying to parody. It's just trying to do what they want, this generation wants to happen in the future. That's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to obviously make young people see that they can do that with authority, and it's ridiculous. The whole thing is that this is not Star Trek. I keep saying this.
It's
absolutely
not
Star Trek. It's bollocks, basically.
Yeah, not watching it anyway. So shall we move on?
Yep.
Funny. It's like that joke in Aeroplane. You should have a picture behind you.
Somebody said there was no music in Star Trek, and then somebody kind of posted the Mad magazine on a tweet, and then this person, whoever this is, said he actually has got the magazine.
Yep.
I
wish I could sing.
Magazine, Paul?
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. There.
Oh, sorry, bear with me. Wrong one.
There it is. Oop, that's me also.
I'm pressing the wrong button. Sorry, folks.
There we go.
Bear with me. There we go.
And the opening song, I don't know if you know, I can't sing, but you know the song "Send in the Clowns."
Yeah.
So the tune of "Send in the Clowns." So you have to imagine "Send in the Clowns," because I can't sing it. Isn't it strange? After 8 years, him playing captain again, me with my ears. Send in the crew. And then Kirk says, "Look at me now at my old post, happy that I can forget Barbary Coast. Where is my crew? Send in my crew." Okay. And then Scotty goes, "See our old ship down from the sky. None of the engines are working, and neither am I." and the McCoy sings, "Once I was saving their lives with my medical skill. Where am I now? Over the hill." It's just so good.
It sounds better than Strange New Worlds.
The cartoons are great, and
And the magazines used to be bigger in those days as well. I mean, that's
it's
huge.
It's
compared,
a pretty
That's what she
chunky.
said. I will say congratulations on the 100K silver plate.
Thank you very much. Yes, there it is there. Yep, that's good.
There you go.
100K, that was my goal. That's it.
Well done, mate.
And now I'm just having fun, coasting, doing stuff.
Now you can retire.
Yeah, I can retire.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
There you
Paul
go.
and his magazine. Okay, so
I'm so
quickly going
proud
back-
of having that magazine.
Yes. Quickly going back to what you said a few moments ago, Robert Meyer Burnett posted this, which I thought was quite good. Star Trek, Why Are
Yeah.
You Always on My Ship? A new novel by Christopher Pike.
Who's the guy next to him?
Kirk.
Is that Kirk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What
Kirk.
a load of shit.
And wasn't he in Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Originally, wasn't he
I
one
don't
of the?
know. I don't care.
Pass.
Oh no, he was in one of the vampire shows.
Was he? Let's
Yeah,
Should-
can't
should
remember
say.
which one.
Really?
So it was vampire. So the problem with this Trek and Disco is that these are all prequels, and Star Trek and any good show should just be moving forward.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
this prequel stuff is terrible because they're also playing with canon, and they're just destroying a canon. Oh, you know who's hot? Sorry, who I think was really hot on Star Trek Strange New Worlds is Spock's T'Pring.
Oh, yeah. She's just.
Knock down gorgeous.
I know. She's just. Yeah.
I
Smoking.
could lick the tip of her ears.
Oh. But you know what? They did move forward and see
Yeah,
what we
agreed,
got.
agreed.
Discovery. Do you know what I mean?
Discovery
So-
is still a prequel.
of
to
course,
TOS.
but they went into the future, didn't they? And now it's our future, isn't it?
It's a parallel J.J. Abrams bullshit Star Trek.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess. But yeah,
I think season 3 of Picard is the only thing we're going to get for a long time.
that's it. Yeah.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Anything else? We're not going to get
No.
anything else. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they
Until-
kind of made it okay season 1, and then Akiva Goldsman took over.
When
Season
they finish with the contract with these idiots, they'll take a couple of years, and then someone who likes Trek will probably
Yeah, I
bring
think
it back.
Natalis will get it in 3 years'
Yeah,
time,
that's
but
what I reckon.
that'll be too late for perhaps 7 of 9 because she'll be pushing 60.
Yeah, I don't want a 7 to 9 show at all. I really don't.
Well-
I want a new ship. I want new characters. I want them to move forward, as Chato just said. We
Yep.
want to move forward. We don't want to go backwards. We want to create
Yeah.
new characters, create a new style, create a new Star Trek.
Yeah,
I-
well,
I'm a science fiction nut, and
So
I would
am I.
love to. I would love to see a science fiction show that is that picks up on everything that has been kind of thought of from Stanislaw Lem, Asimov on through Star Trek, and if I was redoing, let's say we were redoing the Transporter, and this is a completely new show, nothing to do with Star Trek. The idea that you could blast someone's atoms someplace and have it reconfigure, even in of itself, of discombobulating an individual and then sending them off. That we know that is literally impossible. But if you're going to try to make people believe it now, then you know what? I would have a show where the first thing they would do is send a recombobulator device, land it on the planet. Then you'd have a point-to-point transporter system. You couldn't just beam into someone's ship, take people off it at the last second, in the nick of time. You'd actually work into the story the fact that this device that lands on the planet, and it also has to be powered, so you only have enough power to send you back to the ship once. So there's stories that you can build around the limitations of the technology and make it feel real. I'm sorry, I'm a dreamer, but that's what I'd love to see.
Fine.
it's not going to happen, mate.
We're all dreamers, mate.
I apologize.
Not going to happen, mate. Okay, so shall we move on? Yes. It's
Move on.
dead, folks.
Move along.
It's resting. It's not even resting, is it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
pining for
If
the.
you hadn't nailed it to the bridge, you'd be pushing up daisies.
Yeah,
This
it's
is not the show
pining for
we're looking
Rigel
for.
7.
Move
Okay, let's
along.
move on. Okay, so on to more serious stuff. Barbie crosses 1 billion at the worldwide box office.
Can we just appreciate the weird timeline in which we live, when we can move from Star Trek to Barbie and say, and now for the more serious stuff?
Yes.
I don't ever want to see this film. Ever.
So who's seen Barbie?
Yes.
No.
No.
I don't think we've spoken to you, have we, Lord? So
Take it away.
Go on.
Away.
Yeah.
I actually do have some nice things to say about Barbie.
What?
Yeah. The set design is absolutely excellent.
it does look
She's
good.
clear. I think Greta Gerwig's worked with Wes Anderson. You can tell some of that influence is there.
Yeah.
She's also worked with Woody Allen. She used to say how inspirational and influential he was on her until Woody Allen did Woody Allen, and then she said that she fundamentally regrets everything about him. So, but still, the lessons have been learned. So there is that to be said for it. The cast is almost uniformly excellent. Both Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie put in some really, really good performances. The soundtrack is actually quite good. Some of the humor in the first 20 minutes is quite funny. It does meta stuff well, unlike the current meta, which is that meta jokes must be shit. And the first 20 minutes, you kind of think, yeah, I can see how there's a good film in this. Then going forward, when everything becomes subservient to the film's theme, and the theme has two personalities, that's when things start going sort of very, very badly wrong. So if you watch interviews with Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig together, Margot Robbie is very keen to say that, okay, well, I know people are saying it's a feminist film, but really it's beyond feminism, is what Margot Robbie keeps trying to say. Feminism is just one part of the pie, is what she said. And then Greta Gerwig turns to her and says, well, it's a big part of the pie. So there's a bit of tension, and the tension is all the way through the film between, is this going to be Feminist Manifesto? Is this also trying to say something a bit more like universal and interesting? It tries to do both and consequently fails at both. So it will have long diatribes against the patriarchy, about how impossible it is to be a woman, about how the world is made for men. And people who say that this is satire simply haven't read or listened to the people who actually created the thing, because it's not. It's not satirizing woke feminism, as people like Ethan Van Sciver, I think, have tried to say. It's quite sincere in that aspect. The reason it contradicts itself is because it also wants to do something a bit more than that. So it begins by saying, well, yes, the patriarchy exists and women have it bad. And what we're doing is we are just showing that in reverse in order that everyone can see that. So the Barbie land is a matriarchy, and the matriarchy is bad for the Kens, just as the patriarchy in the real world is bad for women. But the close of the film, which goes back to what Greta Gerwig did with things like Lady Bird, is trying to take a less ideological and more sort of universal theme. It tries to say, well, really what we need to do is to move beyond all hierarchical systems. Hierarchical systems per se are bad. People need to be allowed to find themselves without the strictures of ideology confining them. Which is all very well, except that the film spends the majority of its time explaining exactly how the strictures of ideology confine us. So it contradicts itself all the time, and it's a real shame, because there is some genuinely good work in this, and there's some sincere thought in it as well. And it could have been a much, much better film than it ended up being. It's just that feminism does drag it down, as it drags most things down, culminating in the most sort of unintentionally ironic depiction of the successes of man when the Kens create their own patriarchy, and it's a lovely world and everyone is happy, only for a few unhappy, miserable women to say, no, the problem is that all these happy Barbies have made the wrong life choices. We need to show them the reality. And so they create destruction. They tear down this functioning world in which everyone works hard and everyone is happy, and they create this nothingness to replace it, which is just be yourself. And then you think, well, what the hell are you trying to say? What does that even mean? You're very sure about what you mean when you're lecturing us on feminism. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to your be yourself message. So a mixed bag. It's far from the worst film of the year. And I quite like the fact that something actually quite daring in its own way and very, very different was allowed to get made. It was greenlit by Mattel. It was greenlit by Warner. And some of the people involved genuinely care about it. And you can see that in parts of the film. But overall, it's an absolute mess.
The Lord has spoken, everybody.
No point looking at your video then, Ben. So.
Oh, no, I've done it now, yeah. All that last week of stress and trial and tribulation is pointless.
Here you go, Romeo, Tango, November, Zulu for 10 NZ dollars. On break at work, there once was a bridge named for Chuck Norris. They had to change the name because no one crosses Chuck Norris and lives. Ta-da!
Oh, red, no blue. Ah!
I thought that was going to be a limerick when it started.
Mm,
Once was a
probably
bridge named
was.
Chuck Norris.
It
that's
ended
where
up
it
as a
stopped.
haiku.
Where it stopped.
Okay, so Ian, you're not going to go watch this then? I thought it'd be right up your street.
No, I'm not going to watch it. My nieces wanted me to go with them, and I said, "Oh, absolutely no." No, I'm just so fed up with today's films and today's TV shows now. I watch old stuff now. I can't be asked unless somebody says to me it's really good, then I would go and see it. But no, I can't take the risk. It's a lot of money to go to the cinema these days. You know.
Yeah. The director in you might actually quite like bits of it, but if you wear earplugs and you don't listen to what any of the characters are saying, you probably will enjoy it quite a lot, because there's a lot of really good directing stuff in there. It's just that as soon as like insufferable teenage girls start talking about Barbie as a representation of fascistic, quite like capitalistic, patriarchal systems that demean women, that's the bit you have to start switching off at. But that was the thing that led a load of people, I think Ethan Van Sciver kicked this off, saying, no, don't you see, it's a really clever satire of the thing. It's obviously it's so absurd it can't be sincere, right? It's a satire. And then a load of people who just follow his opinions because they're sheep started saying, yeah, Barbie is satire. So I thought, well, I can check this. What did Greta Gerwig say about the scene? Oh, look, Greta Gerwig says that the young girl is, and I quote, well articulated, making obviously correct arguments, which doesn't sound like satire to me. 5 minutes of Google searching can help you folks.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so Paul not tempted to view Barbie, even just for the channel.
No. Well, mine is not a review channel. There's things that I come upon that I choose to review, and that's that's the way it goes.
Channel favorite folks. Vex Electronica. I'll start again. Vex Electronica. Good lord, this movie. It's not clever. It's not satire. It's propaganda.
A lot of stuff these days is propaganda. As I was saying, the Lioness is propaganda. It's really crap, because I remember in the 90s and 80s, we all used to get along. Do you know what I mean? And now we don't.
We hate each other.
We're all labeled something now. It's ridiculous.
Okay, let's move on.
But Barbie does try to make it so that it tries to pretend that it's not setting men and women against each other. So the ultimate lesson of this film, it goes alongside the be yourself message, is that the patriarchy is bad for men as well as for women. So Ken is defining himself by his possessions. He's defining himself by his love for Barbie. He's defining himself by his material successes, the house he builds, the job he has, the skills he possesses, all the things that make him a really interesting character. And the film turns around at the end and says, yeah, you shouldn't let those things define you. Just be yourself. And I'm looking at it thinking, well, that's what he's doing. What are you talking about?
Did it say motherhood was bad as well?
The film has a very complicated relationship with motherhood. So it doesn't say it's bad. And like Ben Shapiro interpreted it, there's an opening shot, which is a straight shot-for-shot recreation of the opening of 2001: A Space Odyssey,
right.
Where Barbie serves as the function of the obelisk, and rather than apes smashing bones, it's little girls smashing dolls. And so people on the right, like Ben Shapiro, said, oh, look, this is obviously an anti-motherhood allegory. That's, again, not correct. The number of incorrect takes on this film is just staggering. Greta Gerwig herself is a mother. The whole film is about her motherhood, and the film is about her concerns, quite specifically about bringing up young girls. And Barbie, as opposed to the teenage girl in the film, is the surrogate sort of for the daughterhood part of it. So the film is really about, how do I, as a parent, bring up a young girl in a difficult world with so many different influences and things that can lead her astray, and stresses and obligations and all the rest of that? It's not an anti-motherhood film. The problem is it doesn't really know what motherhood entails, and it has nothing to say for it. So it's all very well telling a teenage girl, oh yeah, go out into the world and discover yourself, which is fine for teenagers. I think that's an important part. But they have to get to teenage years before you can start saying be yourself. You can't be a mother to a baby and tell the baby, bring yourself up. I don't need to do anything, which seems to be what the film is angling for.
So, Monsieur Platoon, my question is that we know how movies are made. There's a script, it's shot and then often reshot bits and pieces, and then it's edited. And the editing can completely change the tone and the direction of a movie. The shooting of the movie itself can change the script also. So there's, I wonder how much of this movie was finally crafted in editing, and just are we applying more intellectual capital to both the writer and the end product than it deserves? Because this could be shot like a Will Ferrell film where it was just a lot of improvisation.
He's
and
in
then
the film,
this is what they ended up, and he's in it, yes, and this is what they ended up with, and then they piece it all together, and this is what we got. My big concern in discussing this film is this is not like watching House of Cards written by Andrew Davies. Right? You watch House of Cards and you go, every word is fantastic in the original UK series. I don't know if you've seen it, but to me, it's one of my favorite all-time shows.
One of the almost inspirations. I learned most about politics from House of Cards, South Park, and Veep.
There you
go.
The
thick of it.
And so I'm glad I'm on the right side of that fence. But because I'm waiting for the people to come up and say, fuck you, Chado. And so the thing is, you watch that show and I'll bet you none of the words were changed in the shoot, and the writer knew exactly what they were trying to get at, and it was cast in a way that would allow the creative people to get the result that they had intended. But you know where I'm going, right? And so to me, I listened to the commentary on this film and I'm thinking, okay, how was it done? What was its intent? Is Greta, does she have the intellectual capital to have actually created those kinds of concepts that you are articulating so clearly? I'm not entirely convinced of that.
No, it's a good point, and it's well taken. So the reason I'm fairly certain about this, and I can probably wrap in the answer to Jeffrey Spinner's point in chat as well.
Would you like to push back on that?
How can I say anything about Parenthood? Well, because I've watched the film. I mean, that's a starting point. And I've read what Greta Gerwig has said. That's also helpful. I have parents. That's likewise helpful. It's not uber anti-motherhood. And to sort of wrap this into your question, Paul. So if you go back and watch some of Greta Gerwig's earlier stuff, and Lady Bird is probably the most important example here, because a lot of this film is really just redoing what she did in Lady Bird. There's even a whole sub-arc between a mother and a daughter in this film. Oh no, how can I say anything about parenthood? Well, I can identify a mother and a daughter in a script. So that's one answer to that question. There's a sub-arc in this film between a mother and a daughter who have grown apart and they've grown distant. And part of the point of the film is that they have to come closer together again. Now, if you go back and watch Lady Bird, the whole point of Lady Bird is basically the same thing. There's even basically shot-for-shot comparisons. There's long scenes in cars between the mother and the daughter where they argue, but over time they come to realize that the answer to sort of parental strife is that children need space to be themselves, but also they can't demand too much of their parents, which is the same message that you see come through with this film. It's something Greta Gerwig's done, I think, more than once. I think she did something quite similar in I want to say Little Women. I might have got the title of that wrong. So she's done it a few times. There's enough of the beats which come across which are the same. And she's articulated a lot of this in the interviews as well. And then if you listen to Margot Robbie, they're quite consistent on these points. So I think to be honest, the film has survived by the looks of things quite well on the editing floor. I don't think too much has been sort of added in reshoots. I think this pretty much is the vision they had for it. Which is, again, quite to be welcomed. So it seems to have had a relatively seamless progression through production. So that's good. And it does have some things to say. I think a lot of them are wrong, but to say that it's completely unambiguously anti-motherhood just means you haven't either watched the film or paid attention to the chat. But
okay, I'll watch the film.
I ain't watching it. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it.
I think we're getting bogged down in that, according to some people. Let's move on. Okay. Sidestep. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling did not have deals in their original contracts to return for Barbie 2.
Because they probably thought it was going to be a big flop. I don't know.
Well, Margot Robbie sold it on the basis that it would be Jurassic Park. And it would make $1 billion. And
she believed in it, yeah.
It turns out it was right.
Do you think there's a Barbie 2 in this?
I really hope not.
No. Do you think there is? I don't see it.
I think it would be hard to do. Much money.
Yeah, then Z's right. I mean, it's made enough money that you almost guarantee the studio will do it. You can't really do a direct sequel because, so spoilers for anyone who actually cares, the close of this film has Margot Robbie's Barbie becoming human, so she leaves Barbie world. She's not a Barbie anymore. And again, because the film doesn't really know what it's positively about, the definition of her becoming woman is that she goes to a gynecologist, and that's the end of the film. So it'll be hard to bring her back for it, but it has made so much money that, yeah. And I know Mattel has already announced that they're planning a whole host of films based on their various different IPs. So
Hot Wheels.
Should we see a Barbie 2? No,
Hot
we shouldn't see
Wheels.
one. Will we see it? Probably yes.
Here goes some chat. Princess Pants on or off for $2. Difficult influence like this awful Barbie movie.
Awful Barbie movie.
Difficult influences?
Not quite sure I follow, but if you send another $2, we'll clarify.
Okay, let's move on.
And to me, the success of this is brand over brains.
Oh yeah.
People underestimate how they will follow what they've been told, and so their opinions have already been preformed. And this is all about the brand. I don't think an awful lot of people are going. The normies are going to be coming out of this movie discussing it the way you guys are discussing it.
I don't know what normies will be discussing. I mean, there's so many very, very bizarre and quite intellectual and abstract references. It's not only all the film stuff, everything from 2001 to The Godfather to West Side Story is mentioned, but there's references to Proust, there's references to all manner of things. And then there's this whole scene at the beginning where they complain about how bad Citizens United is as a court decision. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell are normies supposed to take away from that? It's such a bizarre script. So Greta Gerwig's excuse, which I quite like, is that it was always nice for her to go to the cinema and find things that she didn't quite understand as a kid, but wanted to learn more about. I think that's really important. The problem is that if the thing you don't understand is the film hates Citizens United, that's indoctrination rather than education. So there's a lot of that in the film as well.
Here you go, folks. Princess Pants on or off. It refers to Plutes, that's you, Lord, talking about raising a daughter amongst difficult influences.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be one argument.
In California, that's not.
Well, but no, I think the argument being that Barbie is itself a bad influence, which makes it ironic that the film is complaining about bad influences on daughters. I can see that point. Yeah.
Here you go, M Duke 84. Barbie 2, the Vagina Monologues. They are going to be able to negotiate whatever they want. Perhaps it was a clever ploy. What do you think?
Well, they could never have known that it was going to be this much of a hit. So I don't. Really,
Margot did. She had
but every person that leads the charge of a movie, they always say it's going to be a big hit. That's their job, aren't they? So
you go, Barbie 2, the Wrath of Ken.
That would be amazing. I don't know.
They could do a Barbie musical along the lines of. No, I'm just saying, Mamma Mia. They could do a Mamma Mia.
They're doing a Pulp Fiction musical, aren't they, for stage? So I've heard that's going to be not good.
Here you go, Bank of Hostman at Mr. Brown answers me. Barbie isn't a bad influence. Driveling idiots on the internet are. Yeah.
I resemble that remark.
As do I. Okay, shall we move on from that one?
Move along.
Okay. Oppenheimer has passed 500 million. Worldwide.
Wow.
Who's seen Oppenheimer?
I have.
Go on, Paul. What do you think? Do you like it?
I took my son, who never watches movies, came up to me at 9:30. My 25-year-old son, mechanic, very few words, very philosophical, introspective. He came up to me at 9:30 last night and said, you want to go see Oppenheimer? Yeah. 10 o'clock showing is the last one. Okay, let's go. So I went with him, and it's the second time I saw it, really enjoyed it, and he really enjoyed it. And his big comment was, there should have been more gear porn, less sex.
Perhaps, yeah.
That's it. I mean, for him, he wanted to see a little bit more of the that Turing, the movie with Alan Turing. What was that called? With Cumberbatch.
I can't remember, but
I know
what
exactly
you're
which one you mean. Yeah, the name's gone.
Breaking the code.
Summit Code.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Anyways,
Code.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
He was, he wanted just a little bit more of that Turing magic in it. And I know the story of this. I'm a nuclear physics nut. I had my own cloud chamber and atomic chart of elements on my wall.
Did you have a lab coat with pens in the pocket?
No, that I didn't have. But I did make my own cloud chamber. I also had my own radium source, which is in the 60s was pretty cool for a 14-year-old. And so I was a complete fanatic for Sir Ernest Rutherford was one of my heroes. I studied him to death. I read everything that I could get my hands on about him. And so to me, the movie could have just used a little bit more Richard Feynman magic in it. I mean, there's little subplots and stuff like that in terms of the building of the bomb I could have used and less of the sex. But my son loved it. We enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more the second time around.
Right.
You can't watch the movie. You need to bathe in the movie.
Yeah, you need to be for the experience of it.
Yes, you just bathe in it.
Yeah, you just go with it. Yeah,
you just go with it. So,
here you go, folks. Our 2 showings of this are still selling out.
Yeah, 10 p.m. last night. The theater was half full.
Ian, your thoughts? You went to see it?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I won't see it again though. I thought it was okay. I'm not a fan of Chris Nolan's stuff anyway at all. I think he's the stuff he does is way past my pay grade, put it that way. I'm not a clever filmmaker at all, but these people are. And I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I didn't care about anyone. And I liked the second half of the movie better than the building bomb thing. I liked when he was on trial. I thought that was really intelligent, really good movie. And I loved Robbie Downey Jr.'s performance as the bad guy. And I loved the idea that every time you saw him, it was in black and white. I understood that. And what made me laugh was I remember I went to see it with my niece. Okay, and she knows all about this stuff because she learned it in history. And then she goes to me, "That's Robbie Malley. What's the guy who plays
Malik? Yeah,
Malik. Yeah." And he didn't say anything because he just got the thing slapped out of his hand. And then I was saying to her, "Don't worry, he'll be back," and he was. So we thought that was quite funny because we knew he wasn't going to be in the movie and not say anything. Do you know what I mean? So, and he had that whole scene to himself, didn't he? So, and he was really good. So, in conclusion, I enjoyed it. I thought it was worth my time, but I don't hail it like everybody else saying it's a genius piece of work because I didn't think it was, but I really liked it. So there you go. That's my view.
Paul, you said you've seen it 2 times.
Yeah.
So better second time, yeah?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I was much calmer. And I saw it in AVX audio, which was just I have never. That's as the super deluxe audio treatment that you can. It's bigger and better than Dolby.
Oh, I see. All right.
Really one of the most annoying things is just the quiet moments and the amount of sound that Nolan pumped into it. Would you pass me the beans there, dear? Can I have that can of pop? That drove me nuts. Just I got to go to the washroom. Can you just watch the cab while I'm going?
I did think it was uniquely directed. I mean,
yes,
it's very unique the way he actually did all. You wasn't bored all the way through it. That was the thing. So, but it is what it is. I wouldn't see this film again. It's hard going as far as I'm concerned, but props to everybody else.
I'm a nuclear physics nut, so
all right.
They're
We did say this was worth. Well, I saw it on opening day. Well, I think it was second opening day. I did say it was worth everybody's time. Would we agree? If you've not watched it, it's still worth your time. 3 hours watching this.
It is worth people's time. I mean, I didn't like it as much as everybody else, but I still think it's worth going to see, especially in IMAX. I saw
Did you see it in IMAX?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
saw it in IMAX. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good in IMAX, and the sound was really loud. The whole you know, when the bomb went off, and then the sound followed 15 minutes later, the whole of the cinema shook. So you know,
Wow.
it's an experience watching it in IMAX, definitely.
Okay, so we're still saying if you've not seen it, recommended. Yes.
Yeah,
It's worth your
watch
time.
it.
Yeah.
It is. It's worth.
See
It's
that
worth
or
it.
Barbie.
It's a lot of good filmmaking in it, and he, as much as bombastic. That was not meant as a joke. It's you can at least get a sense of someone who's not trying to waste your time.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Here you go. W45P. W45P. A good movie sometimes needs to be watched only once. Wow. I'll agree with that.
It's interesting. I've seen 2001 I saw it twice in the cinema. And I've seen it a bunch of times since. It's kind of a hard movie to sit through now.
Same, yeah. I agree.
I have only seen No Time to Die once.
I'll never see that film ever again. ever.
And
Watching it.
RoboCop 3.
I didn't like RoboCop 3.
Once.
Yeah, it's not very
Okay.
good.
Do we think this is going to do? It's going to do 750 million, isn't it? It's a shoo-in for three quarters, isn't it? For $1 billion, yeah.
I think they're happy. Put it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are happy.
You won't make a sequel though.
Yeah, first it was Hiroshima, next Nagasaki. But Killian, I mean, seriously, you're also
Brilliant.
You're watching this for the performances, and this is one of the things I try to explain to people is that there's any number of reasons to watch a creative product, and whatever it is that the creative people ended up pulling out of their asses is the reason to watch it. You can cast something beautifully, and then nobody lands the lines, and you just don't know.
Strange New Worlds.
Strange, yeah. And nobody, I've done comedies where the lead actor ended up being a joke killer, and I'm going, oh my God, what are we going to do? And he was funny, but there's this thing. I mean, you just can't put your finger on it. Now, Killian was was it his eyes? I don't know, but I thought he was so good in this.
He's just a good actor. That's all. He's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, and you know, the close-ups of him. Close-up of everybody.
Emotes.
Yeah, but there were some shots because they were using IMAX. I don't know if you noticed, Ben, or anyone that watches film on IMAX. Some of the close-ups they were struggling to focus. You can tell.
Wow.
So when there's a shot where Killian leans forward, and his face is huge on the screen, and they try to focus between his nose and his eyes, and they eventually get it right. It's just a split second. You can see it's out of focus, and then they adjust it, and you can see that it's in focus. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but it felt a bit weird to me when I was watching it. But you know, kudos to them, man. You know, it's an experience.
Folks, R2 for $5. I thought it was really poignant when Robert Oppenheimer went to the gynecologist at the end.
Yeah.
My favorite quote was the one that Einstein told him that you're going to live the rest. You know, the problem of success is that you got to,
Oh, that was really good.
That was a fantastic quote.
Oh yeah,
because I've lived that as a famous comedian.
He said that it wasn't the awards you get isn't for you. It's never going to be for you, and I understand that totally.
Yeah,
but
the people giving it.
But it was the paranoia of the Downey character that was basically
that was great,
film, wasn't it?
And
it didn't need to be. Yeah,
I saw. I don't know if you know a philosopher, Rollo May, American philosopher, a psychologist actually, who I really like, a very brilliant psychologist. So the Frantics comedy troupe I was in, we performed for the North American psychiatric convention. There was like 2,000 people in a room, and we did our show. It killed, and then I stuck around to see Rollo May, and one individual after another introduced them, and they just talked about their own personal books that they wrote and their own papers that they wrote, and their connection to Rollo May, and they went on and on and on. And then Rollo May came on and just said, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the rest of the people here. You guys are just full of shit. And it went, whoa, holy smokes. He just ripped to shred every single person who aggrandized themselves not on behalf of, but in Rollo May's shadow. They just ripped him to shit. And that reminded, the Einstein quote reminded me of that.
Here you go, folks. M Duke 84 for £5. That's real money, folks. The bomb was practical. Nolan filmed Lizzo farting and he held a match.
Hilarious.
And another super chat, Cosmic Castaway for $5. I would have preferred a Richard Feynman biopic. Feynman biopic, from his involvement with the bomb to the drama of the Challenger.
That would be really yes, that would be very cool. But they would have to include his massive volume of womenizing. He would never have stood the Me Too movement. He would have been completely gone.
The Challenger stuff.
You know the Challenger stuff?
Yeah, I'm really partial to. There was a time a few months ago I was just watching all the Challenger stuff on YouTube.
Oh, he was.
Really good. Yeah,
he really gave it to them.
Yeah, really good. Okay,
and he was full of himself too. Murray Gell-Mann has a lot of Richard Feynman. What's funny is you talk to the scientists of that era. And so Murray Gell-Mann has got Feynman stories about what an ass he was. And then Feynman has stories of someone else. He was an ass. It's like everyone says each other is an ass. That's hilarious. Like people with egos and that kind of intellect and capable of doing that level of math in their heads.
Here you go, folks. Tim Talk. Hello, Tim. Murphy is great in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, he is. He's really good in Peaky Blinders.
He's a great actor. He's just a great actor.
He is, and he's he even admits that he's as a person, he's not as interesting as he is on screen. He says he's really boring.
Is he going to get an Oscar for this?
I hope so.
He'll get a nom, won't he?
Yeah,
easily.
Get a nod. Yeah, get a nod. Definitely.
I think Robert Downey is going to win the Oscar.
Oh, definitely. What a performance from him. What a fantastic performance. So that's
the competition he has, but they're never going to get nominated, are the two kids from Sound of Freedom.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
It's a good movie for what it is and the amount of money they spent on it. But the kids in it are staggering. You will, cool. I'd be shocked if you don't cry at the end. It's just, they are insane.
That's being released in September, I think, over here.
Yeah, it's not out yet, is it? Okay.
Yeah, September.
Okay. So let's move on. Okay, on to The Witcher. Anybody see this?
Yeah.
The Witcher producer on the show's controversial changes from the books. When a series is made for a huge mass of viewers and a large part of them are Americans, these simplifications brackets are necessary. The logic of the plot is less significant. And then it says, those people grew up on TikTok.
Who is he talking about? TikTok's only been around for about 4 years, 5 years.
I know. Yeah.
Well, it's the on your iPhone while watching stuff, the attention span of a gnat type.
I guess that explains why the Witcher video games were so spectacularly unsuccessful in America. Oh no, wait a minute, no.
Yeah, no.
And the first half a dozen seasons of Game of Thrones, they were universally hated.
Yeah, really unpopular.
That's my understanding.
That Oppenheimer film, that's a complicated film. That's bombing.
In Japan it is, yes.
Oh, God, inevitably.
Quickly, here we go. Waylon, how do you pronounce that? Beceptus?
Cephas.
Maybe we should do a Werner von Braun biopic.
I think that was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Very good.
And I would say I would put it in the context of Russia and the United States space race, and the title is "Our Nazis Beat Your Nazis." That's the story there. Now this guy's an idiot. This is like absolutely crazy. I mean, the people take out of a production what it is that they're capable of taking out of them. It's not like they're going to be quoting Chaucer, you know, through it. They're not going to make it more difficult for people to understand. You do it to the best of your ability, and people will understand it to the best of their capability. That's it. That's stupid.
They had probably one of the best professionals in the business as the lead star.
Oh.
Stream killer.
It's just staggering the number of times that we will sit here reviewing a film or a TV show and we'll think, do these people think we're dumb? And now it turns out that yes, they do. They're literally saying that right in front of us. That is what they think. And yet the series they have helmed has completely tanked. So what does that say about their estimations of their own audience? Maybe they have a higher opinion of your fans and it will inspire you to do better things. Don't assume that everyone watching is an idiot. You're not writing Bridgerton, for God's sake.
Iga folks, Black Lives or Black Votes for $2. Thank you, sir. Rest in peace, Cavalon. Yes.
Part of the challenge with streaming is that everyone thinks that they're making mini movies, and they forget that they're actually doing network television. So Cavill needed to be needed to be Rockford or any individual British not sitcom, but drama that then you have so many in the UK. Fantastic, like Morse or whatever. That's what you're doing with The Witcher. That's all you want to do. Witcher's Morse. He goes from one creature to the next, and they put in a couple of overarching arcs, mini arcs throughout the show. But it's you want to see it's similar to Bill Bixby's The Hulk, where he demanded that he Hulk out twice a show, because that's what you wanted as a kid. Now, I'm oversimplifying things. You don't want Witcher to turn into House, because that just became boring. But you got to find that in between, the freedom that streaming gives you, but not forget that it's a goddamn network show. And that's what they did. This is what the frustration is. It's not hard to make this, especially when you've got Cavill.
He was basically telling them what to do. What more do you need?
Well,
here you go, Bank of Osman at Mr. Brown Alliance says to me, I take personal offense to this. I'm American and I've paid more attention to The Witcher pros than the showrunners probably paid. Yeah. You could probably made it better than them, Hostman. But anyway, we're not going to get season 4 because it's dead, isn't it?
But it's been put on hiatus, hasn't it?
Yeah,
the writer's strike. But given how unpopular it's now become, whether or not is it Liam Hemsworth the one who's taking over?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would be slightly surprised if we saw that come out. I don't know though.
It's going to be rubbish.
Netflix is ruthless with its programming in terms of when a show dips below a certain watching level. I can't think of a show that they have not axed that when it dipped below their metrics. Even Cowboy Bebop was just like 1 or 2 points below what was required for them to continue it, and Netflix axed it.
Well, that's what you think, though. You see, but they keep those things close to their chest, and I got the feeling that nobody's watching it. That's why they cancel it.
Well, they know who's watching it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, they've got the metrics. They know the volume of views that any show is getting.
Yeah.
They
And
just
I
don't
think,
tell us.
the surprise as well for them is that, and because you're right, Paul, they really should be producing this like any other network show. But I think when it comes to the cancellations and being quite ruthless about it, there's an extra incentive to do that, because it's not as though they are taking a huge risk on some unknown property which could either fail or succeed, but it's really pot luck as to what. Like, none of these things should be failing. The Mario film could come out and make $1 billion with no story and very little character, and yet because all they did was be basically competent, they've taken a well-known, much-loved brand and they've turned it into an immensely profitable thing that will lead to a franchise. The Witcher should have done the same thing. The Witcher is an established IP. There is no excuse for something like this failing except for malpractice and incompetence, really.
Plus there's a new book on the way as well.
Well, yeah, and I think the books will probably maintain their value and their popularity. In the same way that the Mortal Engines film, when that came out, was an absolutely garbage film. But I looked at it and I thought, well, the idea is kind of fun. I wonder what that's based on. Went away, read the books, and really liked them. Still hate the film, though. So hopefully the best thing that will come out of this is that the author gets a lot more readers for his books and the series gets cancelled. That would be a nice
It is
combination.
cancelled. Okay.
Testimony to the misapprehension of the person who says that Americans are too stupid to enjoy complicated storylines. What an absolute arse.
Okay.
Dumb.
On that
dumb
bombshell, we'll move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it this one, Paul? Yeah.
Yep.
This was a big story to wake up to this morning.
Oh, this could be huge.
Elon Musk, if you were unfairly treated by your employer due to posting or liking something on this platform, we will fund your legal bill. No limits. Please let us know. And then Gina Carano, I think I qualify.
Well, she does.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yep.
I, for one, would
Oh,
relish
I'd love this. I'd love
Elon
this.
Musk suing Disney on
Oh,
Gina Carano's behalf.
God,
This-
I'd love this.
If he did this and used Twitter to document any of the legal this legal process, the number of people that it would attract to Twitter would be huge. So
Agreed.
I would say from a marketing perspective, this is enormous.
But it's gonna. I think I'd want to see what precisely the plan is here. So I think the idea is bold, and that's what Elon Musk is very good at. These big, splashy, bold ideas. But what's the qualifying factor here? Do you just have to go to Twitter and say, "Hey, I was sacked, and I'm suing for X amount of money, and I will spend as long as I need to in the court case to prove this point. So give me money." And Elon Musk has now advertised that that's what Twitter will do. Sure, that's a short run to bankruptcy. Surely, there's no checking factor on that.
Well, I would imagine he's only going to. There'll be certain criteria. Yes, he's not going to open the floodgates, is he?
Well, you'd hope not, but then knowing Elon Musk, he hasn't thought this through.
Doesn't have to. He's a billionaire. He doesn't care. He's got crap loads of money. Give a shit, does he?
Well, I mean,
it's one of the things that ensures that court cases are effectively time limited is that they are very expensive to do. And that stops certain parties from simply taking out vexatious claims and keeping them in the courts for as long as is possible, because eventually they will run out of money. That has some negative side effects, which it does tend to bias in favor of either rich people or corporations. But there is an important aspect to that, which is that if you're simply saying to people, hey, go to court, we'll pay forever, then you're going to make the courts an awful lot of work. It's going to be incredibly difficult, and your company will be potentially liable for a bill of hundreds of millions of dollars because you're not really thinking through how you're going to choose which cases to pursue and which not. And knowing Elon Musk, this is a guy who's just changed the name of Twitter without thinking that, hey, maybe we should stop calling the things tweets until 6 weeks later. I don't know that he's really thought of something. I love the idea. I think it's great. I think it'll be really entertaining, but whether or not X survives it is another question.
People still call it Twitter anyway.
I just did.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Well,
not just that. If you go to x.com, it explicitly says join Twitter.
Yeah. Does
doesn't say
it
join
still
X.
actually say Twitter?
Yeah. and again, you're still tweeting, and I said this in a video, and they've got broken links. Like it's he's done it in such a half-assed way. How are you a internet savvy mogul and have a website that's broken? But I mean, notwithstanding that, this is going to cause a chill on companies that are religiously following ESG and EDI precepts and saying, oh, crap, this lowly plebe, maybe I can't push them around anymore. That to me is, we could end up having actually less legal ramifications purely from the scare Elon is going to be putting into Fortune 500 companies over, like they're going to think, a few seconds longer whether they're going to can someone over a tweet. That would be great.
You're right. I mean, huge implications. I don't know if it's resonating anywhere else in the world. We've got a big debanking scandal going on at the moment with all the UK banks.
Outrageous.
Which is for political posts on social media are saying you can no longer bank with us. Like, it has huge implications if he goes. It probably has huge implications even if he doesn't really go through with it. But I think you're right. There could be some immense positives to take from it. It's just whether or not X survives this publicity.
Well, look at what Farage. That is a great story. I mean, I'm
no fan of. We covered that last week. Yeah.
I'm no fan of Farage, but I mean, go Farage.
As I said last week, technically, any one of us on here now could be debanked.
Correct.
Yep.
It's probably going to be Ben.
Yeah, probably. I'll give you my excuse to start my offshore business, though. It'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think this is an interesting first salvo.
If there'd be one case to do, it would be Gina Carano's.
Oh, yeah.
God, that would be so good.
Yeah, it would be, but somehow I don't think it's going to happen. There you go.
Ego, Howie Jewett, I got sacked 5 years ago for complaining about the company I was working for on Twitter.
Yeah, see, that's the other side of that, which is that there are certain things on Twitter or social media posts generally, which a company probably is at liberty to sack you for. And one of those is disparagement of the company. I'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I think if he clarifies it, if he has a firm legal mind behind him who can actually specify exactly the conditions which apply, then it will be much more interesting and potentially it will be long lasting. But knowing Elon Musk, he is not actually planned for this. It just sounded, he was high one day, he just finished chatting with Joe Rogan and he thought, this sounds like a good idea. We'll do it.
I think you're right. And I thought that perhaps the reason he changed Twitter to X was because he owns the URL from 1999.
Yes, he does.
And that was the only reason. Hey, we got X. We're going to change it to X.
Well, apparently he's always wanted to. So when he co-founded PayPal, he wanted to call that X, and then he co-founded something else and wanted to call that X, and then obviously SpaceX is a thing. There's something he called his child X something or other. X is this. He's fixated on it. I'm not sure why.
Porn X.
That's right.
Is that you done then, Paul?
I have to go and make dinner.
Anything nice?
I'm doing stir fry. Yes, I'm doing a tofu stir fry with hot sauce.
Cool. Can I come?
You're more than welcome. I would love to feed all of you.
I will say it's been long overdue, but a genuine pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Listen, anytime. I always enjoy the gang.
I will say congratulations on the 100K. Well deserved.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was fun.
We'll see you next time. Yes.
Yeah, have me on anytime. You guys are wonderful. It's a real joy to be here.
To be on the next stream.
Paul Chatto, everybody.
Lovely
legend in his own lifetime. Take care, my friend.
Bye, everyone.
Ta-da. Thank God he's gone. That's all.
Look for that.
Usual joke.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything we need to add to this?
Not really.
No, I don't think so. It's I just think this is going to end in more tears for Elon Musk's employees than it will for anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Speaking of tears, anybody? This is confirmed. Musk and Zuckerberg are going to have it out.
Why?
Because they're bored tech bros with more money than sense.
It's true. That's yeah.
It's like that YouTube video, isn't it? Two retards fighting.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. It'll be the greatest fight ever.
I would put my money on Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he does all this anyway.
Well, he does. Also, he's like pathologically committed to things. So if he commits to something, he will go all in. This is a guy who spent billions of dollars on the stupid Meta VR experience for no conceivable reason. Doesn't work, but he committed. Elon Musk is just flippant, and he's, I think, older and less healthy, and he's doing it because he thinks it would be cool. I wonder how much that would dent his image, though, if he loses a cage fight.
I don't know. Speaking of flippant. Hello, Vex.
Hey.
And there goes
Here, how's it
monetization.
going, buds?
Oh
Hello,
God!
Vex. How are you?
Did you have to invite her, please?
Yes.
What's going on?
Vex,
Canadian
Replace one
representation.
Canadian with another.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she's not going to be a Canadian for long, though. She's going to be an American soon, right?
Hopefully.
I'll be dual citizen soon, hopefully. Yeah.
Dual, of course.
I'm
Oh, hello.
Oh,
She's zoned
She got
out.
doing
already.
well. How is everyone doing tonight?
pretty good.
What?
Pretty good.
You
No, you
zoned
glitched
then.
out, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
And
she's
again.
gone again.
Okay.
Oh dear. Something wrong.
Okay. I will just read the super chats. Waylon Perceptus for $2. It won't be as good as Wings v Boogie.
Wings v Boogie was hilarious.
It
I
was
think
a
this one will
brilliant
last
fight.
longer.
Yes.
Wings.
Remind me, I know what that is, but
For anyone who doesn't know who they are two of the fattest people in the world. They're both YouTubers. And someone thought it would be really funny to put them on an undercard fight before, I think, is it KSI versus somebody else? But by fat, I don't just mean fat. I mean, they make Lizzo look thin. Like,
are you,
they are
no, come on, no, body positive. Come on.
okay. Well, there's an immense amount of positivity there. But I mean, Boogie was so fat they had to sellotape his own shorts to his stomach because they kept falling off. It's like, it was morbidly entertaining. It was like the Honey Boo Boo South Park episode.
oh.
And on that
But
bombshell,
credit
let's
to
move
him,
on.
Wings worked damn hard for that, and he lost lots of weight. You wouldn't have told, but he did.
Here you go, Amelia Bedelia. The money was good for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I do it.
But in this situation, I think Wings is Mark Zuckerberg and Boogie is Elon Musk. So yeah, my money is on.
Yeah, I think
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg's going to get it all day. Anyway, should we move on?
Oh, wow.
Okay, Vanessa Kirby will reportedly star as Sue Storm in the Not Fantastic Four.
Yep.
I also
Vex.
heard that the Fantastic Four movie is going to be a Sue Storm-centric movie.
Oh, get in!
She is the worst of the four characters.
Oh, nice. I'm in.
Yeah, she did the dirty and Reed Richards, didn't she? She went off with Nimoy. So,
Really?
yeah, in the comics. Yeah, she went off with him. So yeah, she's
Vex?
Actor or writer linked?
well, you keep zoning out, Vex.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna rejoin.
She's gonna rejoin, she says.
This is what happens if you live in Canada.
Thank fuck for
Communist
that.
internet doesn't
Okay.
work.
She's not coming back. Okay, so
She's
anybody
coming
looking
back.
forward to this?
No,
What's that?
Oh, okay.
I'm not looking forward to anything that Disney Marvel put out now. It's all been absolute diarrhea.
If
You know, Bishop in the bin, yes.
if they make this film the way it's supposed to be made, I mean, it's not bad casting. There's a rumor that Matt Smith is going to be Reed Richards. She'll make a good Sue Storm, but when they started off, she was quite young, wasn't she? So obviously they're playing a lot older Sue Storm here. But if they do it right, it'll be. I mean, it might be something that will save Marvel. Who knows?
Yeah, they're not.
But-
They're not going to though. Are
No, they're
they?
not.
Come
They're not.
on.
They're not. They're not. Everybody knows.
You
that.
could do better.
Anyone could do better, actually.
Apart
Even
from the
Vex could do
senator.
better.
The senator couldn't do better, but
No.
that's.
But
Hi,
what I
Vex.
have to do is put her in a skin tight costume because she's quite sexy.
She's
and,
cute, yeah. Here you go, Joe. Darkness, poop, yeah.
Mm.
Vex.
Somehow you're worse.
Wow.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Give us
Somehow
a
fixed
sentence and we'll see how
burned.
long you last. Try and finish a sentence. that went well.
Testicles, 1, 2.
Nothing.
Have you got a VPN? Have you got a VPN on?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you in the wind?
Or she breathing heavily?
Welcome
Maybe.
to Talking Sexy with Vex Electronica. Are you moist?
Oh, God.
You moist.
Vex, Earth calling Vex.
She's got something definitely wrong with her. Definitely wrong with her.
I thought my internet was bad.
Apparently Canadian
Yeah.
internet. So we needed to move to the US just for decent internet. So come on.
Move. Why
Okay.
don't you?
Oh no.
Do we have a release date or anything yet for Fantastic Four? Because I thought this was just production hell
care?
situation.
You'll make money for
Yeah,
it,
that's
but
why I care.
won't.
But in terms of casting news, that's more important if you also know the film is definitely happening and in production. I don't know if there is any news on that front that I've missed.
I don't know. It's just probably one of those urban legends of it happening. I don't know. Z, do we
What?
know
Do we know?
anything about this? Is it going to happen?
No, nothing at all.
Vex, are you there?
Don't even know
News,
the
aren't
basics of the story. They'll probably try and reintroduce Doctor Doom again, which is a mistake.
Mm.
It's just going to lose all momentum, and I think that Disney Marvel may rethink their entire superhero movie strategy after the Marvels bombs.
Yeah,
You'd hope so, but they should have done that after Ant-Man, for example, and they should also have done
it after the Eternals.
After the Eternals or after Endgame. They've had plenty of opportunities and they are stubbornly pushing ahead. I think the one thing we can say with reasonable certainty about this film is that it will make more money than Blue Beetle, but that's about it.
Yeah, it will.
Earth calling Vex.
Yes.
S. Yeah, S. Excellent. That's so funny.
Secret of comedy
dear.
timing.
Dear.
Are you looking forward to this, Vex?
No.
Well, we heard that.
Okay. Shall we move on, Vex?
Sure.
Okay. I'm sure you'll make money from it. So there is some positivity
There
from it.
is positivity.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Matt Smith's reps offered no comments when asked about a rumor claiming that he was offered the role of hashtag Fantastic Fours, Reed Richards, details, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Well,
I think he's probably going to really consider his options very, very carefully after how Morbius turned out.
yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah, but he doesn't care anyway. He's making money. He doesn't give a shit, does
Well,
he?
he was in what do you call it? Rise of Soywalker, wasn't he? Then
He was. His stuff got cut, didn't it? Yeah.
Well, he has a fantastic record of being in projects which are either
Genesis.
cancelled or his role is almost entirely removed. So yeah,
That's
Genesis
right.
is another example. Rise of Skywalker is another example. So maybe if he signs on to Fantastic Four, we can be reliably certain that it won't happen. But I thought John Krasinski would have made quite a good Mr. Fantastic. It's just he's dead now, so he can't.
Nah, he wouldn't have made a good Mr. Fantastic. He's too. He's too,
not fantastic enough.
Exactly.
He
I
wasn't
don't
in that
understand what he's got big ears and he's not very good looking. I don't understand what people see in him.
Dumbo had big ears as well. Here you go. Jamalama, don't do it, Mats. R2, Rise of Pulp.
Yeah.
See, here you go. This is a thinking man's joke. Smilex, was Danny Glover unavailable? Vex, hello.
She is not here. She has gone to the dogs.
Are you resting, Vex? Are you pining for the fjords?
Pining for the fields? What kind of talk is that?
I don't know.
Is he going to do it, do you think?
Who?
Well,
Matt
no
Smith.
comment normally means yes.
Okay, so it's a shoo-in then, folks, yeah.
He might. Yeah, he might. I mean, thing is, though, The thing is, though, when they offer you a huge check, you're not going to say no, are you? Do you know what I mean? They
Are
must
we
have offered
fuck?
them
Here you go. Black lives
a
or
huge
black
check.
votes. Vex died of cringe. I think we all did, mate, to be fair. Okay. Vex Electronica, there's a massive storm coming in. That's why my connection is getting gas alert, something or other. I don't think Vex. She's here in spirit, but certainly not in body. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
at all?
yes.
I hear you now, yeah.
Can you hear me, mullet?
Hi.
Hello, Vex. Here you go, folks. Super chats. As soon as my computer's playing up. It's going very well, is this? Gui Ramos for Real 54.90. That's Brazilian, folks. Kinda too late for FF and the X-Men in the MCU. It should have been ready as soon as Endgame was done.
true.
Reed could have been the next star Galactus, Galactus, the next
yeah.
Thanos.
But that's
I
what
also
everybody was hoping for. But but basically, what I heard is that Fantastic Four was going to be part of Endgame until some freaking idiot and said that we should have a female-led person to take over the Avengers, and they decided to go for
Well, it's Feige then, isn't it?
yeah, I think so, Captain Marvel. Now, but
Ugh.
that because as everybody said, everyone I know said that at the end of that first part, when Nick Fury takes out his pager, it should have said 4 on it. It shouldn't have had the Captain Marvel thing. If it had 4 in it, people would have cheered in the cinema. This is the reason why
Vex, would you have cheered?
Cheered at women taking over the
A. We can't hear you, love. We just can't hear you.
my
You're breaking up. You keep ending on A like a real Canadian.
Hey? Hey?
I give up. I can't do anything.
Oh, no, we can hear you now. That's all good. Are you looking forward to whatever Mr. Brown was asking you about? I can't remember.
My nose is dripping now with...
No, I'm
Go.
not looking forward to this.
All right.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Vex, I think the internet is fucked. Okay, let's move on.
Well, that'll be fun, because knowing Vex is going to be on another stream after this, so good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that, Vex. Okay, so rumor has it, Latino actor to play Galactus in Marvel Studio Fantastic Four film.
Yes, because there's a Latin America in space.
There is. I thought that straight away.
Well,
Vex.
according to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that is where most Latin American sort of folklore and history and religion comes from. They're all space aliens. So maybe it's the origin of,
joke there, folks.
Yes. Yeah, it's the Mexico origin story.
Very good. Vex, do you have feelings on a Latino actor playing Galactus?
If she does, we
no
will never
feelings
know.
at all.
You'll never
Okay.
know.
No.
It's hilarious. That's so funny.
Well, given the amount of casting news that's coming out about this, I'm assuming that they are planning on this happening and actually properly happening in the relatively recent,
Yeah, it does sound like it,
relatively
doesn't
near
it?
future.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm probably with the suggestion that they really should have made this. Well, they should have planned for post Endgame way before it happened. But also, it would have been the best sort of possible next building block. One of the things that makes the Avengers work is that you do have a codified team with established characters, and you can basically just riff off of their established characters in the comics, and they will have the relationships which are already well formed. And having lost most of the key members, introducing a new group like the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or both would have been a very shorthand way of getting past that problem of recasting people like finding replacements, for people like Iron Man. But they just seem to have stopped planning entirely, even before Endgame happened. And so everything is now just playing catch up. It's on the hoof. It's like the later seasons of Lost, and they don't know what's going on.
It up. Here you go, Drew Gordon, Pedro Pascal as Galactus.
Well, he's been in everything else, isn't he? So...
Stephen Amore, Galactus has been eating undercooked chicken in that pic.
Mm.
Okay. Here you go. This is what I was thinking. Atom Gray. Are we supposed to care that he's Latino?
It's just a stupid logic of Hollywood these days. It's stupid. I mean,
When he's Zellweg, when he's Zegler, she's going to be Galactus.
I wouldn't be
Tick
surprised
those boxes.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a woman that they cast as Galactus. I wouldn't be
Tick
surprised at all.
those boxes.
And Rachel Ziegler seems to be on a complete destruction tour of her reputation and the film she's attached to. I can't remember the last time an actor said so many objectionable things in such a short run of time. Every time she's in the media, she says something incredibly self-serving and offensive and irritating. She could well get her film canned. I mean, she's just so unself-aware and egotistical. It's quite spectacular.
Here you go, Melvin Deeply. I'd tick her box.
Who's he referring to?
Zegler. Is it Zegler? Abject mediocrity. Lizzo for Galactus. Big enough.
No,
Big
she can
enough.
play the planet that he eats. There you go.
Black hole. Think about it. Thinking man's joke. Swallows bananas. Here we go. Should we move on then? Yes.
Move along.
Vex, anything to add before we move on?
Testicles.
Okay, let's move on.
That works.
Okay. Loki season 2 has a reported budget of 1.3 million. 23.5 million per episode. Anybody see the trailer for this week?
I missed the trailer, but that's a stupid amount of money to spend on a show that no one will watch.
Is anyone going to be watching this? I'm not going to be watching it.
By Vex.
It's a big waste of everyone's time watching a show like this.
I'm going to watch it because I hate myself.
I'm going to watch it because I hate myself also. But Tom Hiddleston is good watch.
Doesn't matter how good he is. If the show's crap, it's crap. I understand why people have to watch it to make money. That's fine, but if you're a normie and you don't make money, there's no excuse. You're an idiot if you watch stuff like
Amelia Bedelia, I'm watching yet. Same here, I am as well.
Rubbish. I ain't watching it.
Jay Goodwin, I'll skip Cookie. Oh, fucking hell! It's
waste of
depressing,
time.
isn't it? It's depressing, isn't it?
Waste of everyone's time. Disney.
How did it get to this, folks?
They allow the mad people in. That's what they allowed them in. So.
Christ, it's like a cope stream, this, isn't it? Here you go, in the bin, yeah.
In the bin.
Mega Spider-Man, Loki deserves better, and so yes.
I really cannot believe it. If somebody would, when we started watching Marvel films and we were all into it and we thought it was great,
massively into
if
it.
somebody said to me, right, that they were going to literally destroy themselves by putting in crap into it and disrespecting the heroes, and I would never have believed it.
I'm going to start my new business, and I'm going to take many years to build this business up.
Yeah,
I'm going to put many man hours into making this the best products I can make and make some profits. And then once I'm at the top, I'm just going to turn it to shit.
Well, yeah.
Madness.
You know what, though? I just got the strange feeling. I don't understand how Feige could turn. How could Feige turn into this kind of Feige? Because when he first started out, he was doing everything right.
It's called Black Rock, mate.
I reckon that basically he was sleeping with all with everyone, all the girls. That
I will say
him.
the opinions and views of the guest do not necessarily represent the channel.
That's not what you said in the green room. So there you go.
What's mentioned in the green room stays in the green room. Okay.
I really have no faith in Kevin Feige whatsoever. He's just turning into the Kathleen Kennedy of the MCU.
He is.
I've been told to stop talking over you, Ian.
Oh, were you? Okay. Oh, thanks, Brian. He's defended me. Good chap. Mega spoken. Yeah.
Have you finished? Yes. Okay. Let's move on.
Moving on. Oh no, who's going to be watching this shit?
Right. Okay. This is the news of the week for me. Despite declining viewership and box office losses, Marvel Studios are rumored. Everybody waiting. This is the biggie, folks. Rumored to make Agatha Harkness gay in Disney Plus series. Yes, I'm gonna sleep well tonight. Z, you gonna
Why?
shut down well? I don't know.
Hmm?
Are you gonna shut down well tonight, knowing she's gay?
No.
But I mean, seriously, why? What is the point? Well, what's the point of this entire show? Because very few people watched WandaVision, and she was not exactly the standout performer. I think she's been in some good stuff. I can't remember the actress's name, but she's quite funny sometimes. But WandaVision was not popular enough to spawn this. This is not popular enough to say, hey, we're going to take a stand for diversity in media and make this character whose name you probably don't remember, even though it's on top of the door, we're going to make her gay. Fantastic. Well done. I don't care.
Nobody cares.
I do.
You see, the thing is, right, what happens is that when they do something like this, all the LGB or whatever people come out and they support it on Twitter or whatever media platform there is, and it seems like that's what people want. Then when the show comes out, they don't watch it. They don't watch it. And
Well,
so
they watch it for about 4 seconds.
yes,
and
I'm
then
saying,
it's
haven't
onto
they not
TikTok,
learned?
isn't it? It's onto TikTok.
Yeah, haven't they learned that that's what happens?
It's not our world anymore, Ian.
It is our world. We live in it.
But it's not aimed at us anymore. People who know what decency.
Well,
It's not
if they want to make money, they should aim it at us.
No.
If they don't want to make money, they should carry on making crap like this.
This one's for you, Lord. Do you want to read, please?
I can, from Wayland Basevers. I love how it is the little platoon who just says why. Yeah, but that's all there really is to say. That why is the most important question about this entire endeavor. The show has no reason to exist. The character is not well known or well loved. The thing that spawned it isn't well known or well loved. And the sexuality of the character, though it's not unsurprising that a late middle-aged woman who practices witchcraft should be a lesbian, nevertheless, it's not exciting, and it's not bold or pushing any boundaries. So what's the damn point?
Black lives or black votes for $2. Seriously, who that is Agatha? That's a good question. Agreed.
But I don't understand. They're doing what they're doing now. They basically taking secondary characters in comics and they're making a film like Kraven the Hunter. Why would you make a whole movie about Kraven the Hunter? He's hardly remembered in Spider-Man anyway, but yet they're making a movie.
I'd never heard of him, but
that's what I'm saying. And same thing with this character as well. Nobody cares about her. Nobody knew she existed, apart from people who read comics, of course, the proper comics. And nobody would be asking for this. It's just the agenda being pushed. That's basically what it
rammed
is.
down our throats. Here you go, Peter Pidrak for $5. Vex, welcome to Mercia. By the way, white man BBG at my place anytime.
What?
Okay.
BBG.
I don't know.
Big, black.
Big bosom girls.
Gong? No.
Big bosom girls. Anyway, let's move
Also,
on.
Agatha doesn't even have the decency to be an attractive lesbian. So again, what's the point?
You're on Twitter, right? You've seen the majority of lesbians.
This is a good point, but I don't have to see those. That's the point. So lesbians don't have any business being in media unless they are attractive and it's nice to watch them. That's my stance on lesbianism.
Speaking of lesbians, movie cynic. You've never heard of Craven?
Craven
Yeah,
Hunter.
Craven. I will say Craven in the UK.
I had never heard of Craven either.
Well, you know what it is, don't you? It's a cereal made by Kellogg's. Craven. So yeah, I have heard of Craven, lesbian cynic. He doesn't deserve his own movie, but what the Brown, yeah. That's my middle name. What the fuck?
I know a lesbian that's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
But-
good for you.
Yeah, but she's not on Twitter. Though.
See, here you go, John Craven.
Yes, a movie about John Craven.
It's a lose-lose, though. So either this story is completely unconnected to everything else, in which case you've got an irrelevant character in an irrelevant story, or they try and make it highly relevant to events that happen later on in the MCU, in which case you're basically predicating much of Phase 5 and or 6 on a show that no one will watch. So there is no way I can see that this will be a success. I would love to be proven wrong, but I would be very surprised if I am.
Wouldn't it be
Wait,
fantastic
yeah.
if we came back here in, say, 9 months and said, fucking hell,
Agatha was
Agatha
actually
Harkness.
surprisingly good.
Fucking hell, what
Well,
a
to be
program.
fair, when
What
Hawkeye
a
came
program.
out, I never thought in 6, 10, 12 months' time I would be looking back on Hawkeye and saying, you know what? That's the best of the Disney Plus Marvel shows. And yet, here we are. So it's a chance.
Really? Okay. Ian, do you want to say shit in your best it's shit voice? Please.
It's shit. There you go.
Drink, everybody. Okay, let's move on. Okay, some blunt news, everybody. Emily Blunt says that she, Cillian Murphy, and
Killian.
John Gillian.
Killian.
Killian.
Yeah.
Gillian? Killian.
Killian.
Murphy and John Krasinski have discussed A Quiet Place 3.
Presumably in sign language.
Yes, for fear of being taken.
Loud.
It would have
Well, they made a lot of money in the last two, didn't they?
I saw the first one. I liked it.
Yeah,
I've not
I didn't
seen
see
the second one.
No, I didn't see the second one. But I mean, it's
Sorry,
they're
Brian.
turning it into a franchise, aren't they? So, good for them because they'll make a crap load of money out of it.
Yeah, I thought the first one was really good.
So did I.
So good, I didn't watch the second one.
Same here.
Anybody
think
seen the second one?
Space between the first one and the second one makes you not want to watch it because you just forget about it.
You do, yeah. Here you go. It probably would have been a fantastic TV series, but anyway. Side effect: Quiet Place 2 wasn't needed. This less so.
I just found it too unbelievable that a woman could be quiet.
That's a terrible thing to say. Go in the bin, mate.
Where's a droid who can say such things? Okay. Sorry. I'll jump out the window. And sorry, folks. Sorry.
That's Cillian Murphy.
Sorry, folks. I disrespected him. Sorry.
It's mostly Americans who mispronounce the name, while simultaneously claiming that they have a huge amount of Irish ancestry, and yet they can't pronounce a basic Irish name. So I was surprised to hear you doing it, but it is in fact Killian, not Cillian.
I will jump out the window after the stream, folks. I think we're about 30 feet up, so I'll probably hurt my legs at least. Okay. Should we move on?
Yep, move on.
Okay, more blunt. Emily Blunt says the script for Edge of Tomorrow 2 is done and she's ready to film it. I would love to make it a reality. How many Mission Impossibles does, open brackets, Tom Cruise, close brackets, need? Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
First one was great.
yeah, it was good.
Great film.
I think she's saying that because she's got a huge part in it. So Tom Cruise is looking a bit ropey these days anyway.
Well, he is 61.
I know.
But the first one was a major box office disappointment, wasn't it?
It was.
I think it was marketed poorly, to be fair.
I think it done well, Blu-rays and stuff.
It's not a bad film, don't get me wrong.
I think it's a great film.
It just wasn't received very well.
No.
Yeah. Lord, did you watch Edge of Tomorrow?
I think that passed me by, so no.
Okay.
He shot a lot of it in England, didn't he not?
They did, yeah. I think the battle sequence as well is a homage to Saving Private Ryan as well.
Tom Cruise plays a coward in this until the middle of the film.
Yeah.
First time ever playing a coward.
It's a really good film.
Mm.
Here you go. R2. It was marketed very poorly, yes. Cosmic Castaway. They should have kept the Japanese title. All you need is kill. Yeah. Because it was called Edge of Tomorrow, and then they changed the name literally a few weeks later to Live, Die, Repeat, didn't they?
No, I think it was the subtitle, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
that was the
like an
tagline.
Oh,
on the
okay.
poster.
thing, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will say, folks, if you've not watched it, it's a great film. Here you go. Tom has some thoughts. Great film, terrible title, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's
It's a
also
great film.
Dave Cullen review of this from 2 days ago. So
Yeah, I
that's
saw
also worth a
that.
watch.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Some decent sci-fi. It's out there, folks. And I know it's Tom Cruise, but you know,
I think Dave Cullen should basically watch films when they actually released.
instead of later, yes.
Later, 2
Yeah,
years later.
okay.
I like to review this film. I like Dave Cullen. He's
I
great.
like to review the latest film from Stanley
2000,
Kubrick,
yeah.
2001. Okay, let's move on.
That's the one thing I agree with him. He said 2010 is better than 2001, and I actually agree with him there. But there you go.
I'm
Iceman,
sorry.
yes.
Didn't he say this
Doug
about
Liman.
The Flash as well?
Yes, he did.
What are you doing, Tom? How much are they paying you?
No,
Yeah,
this is a meme.
Oh.
I realised what this is. Yeah. When I saw this, the penny dropped. Tom hasn't seen Blue Beetle. This is the meme. Yeah.
You didn't see the other one either.
It's a good meme because it's equivalently believable of either film that it
We
could
all
be applied
believed
to.
the first one, didn't we? We said about the Slash.
I
all
didn't
believed
believe
it.
what he said.
Yeah.
I believe that he might have seen it, but
Yeah. Blue Beetle's going to do very well, though, isn't it?
No, it's not.
what was the box office prediction? It was was it like 12 million in an opening weekend?
10?
It was an astonishingly low amount for a big budget superhero film.
Isn't that Iron Man's mask?
Oh, yeah.
You would
like
be forgiven
Iron
for
Man.
thinking it, yes.
It's Latino Iron Man.
Latino Man.
What?
Very
Look,
good.
why don't? Oh, for God's sakes! I don't care. I really don't care. It's just shit.
It's the Cayman rider nobody asked for.
Exactly.
I'm wondering whether it'll even be worthwhile doing a video on this one, because I think the majority of people don't even know it's happening.
I need the work as well.
Okay.
Michael Scott, are you not entertained? Yes. Consume next. That's what it is, isn't it? It's just consume next. Or is it me?
Next.
Okay.
Well, I quite enjoyed the Blue Beetle character in season 2 of Young Justice, but there's no way in hell he deserves his own movie. It's just too obscure. Now, I appreciate that the Guardians of the Galaxy were also obscure, but, you know, that had an absolutely storming story to it.
But
And
isn't this
from the trailer of this one, it doesn't. And that whole Batman's a fascist line has put me right off.
Same here.
Even with the second trailer, they had the chance to remove that, and it was still in.
The director apologized for it, apparently.
Oh,
it's still
okay.
in
Well,
there,
that's a
though.
start. Yeah,
Still in
okay.
there, though. It's
Right.
real
Okay.
crap, isn't it?
Okay. In the bin. Oh.
Didn't you say the other day, if you ever heard that theme music? No, you would be happy if you never heard that theme music again.
I would absolutely
and yet here
happy.
you are
singing it.
you have to do the theme every time she appears.
But
it
the
plays
thing
in
is,
my every time.
thing is, though, she's a good Wonder
You'd give her
Woman.
one, is what you're saying, wouldn't you?
No,
Oh,
she isn't
God,
a good Wonder Woman. She's a terrible actress.
Yeah, all right. She's a terrible actress, but she's the look of Wonder Woman. She's got
the look, but she sounds like she's reading her lines
She's got the
phonetically from cue
look.
cards.
Yeah, you're right.
Ian, marks out of 10. What would you give?
Well, I think I'll give her
Marks out of 10, everybody.
1.
You'd give her one out. You'd give her
I
one.
would.
Okay.
I still
When-
think Linda Carter's so much better looking than her, though.
Oh, here you go. This is a good call.
What's that?
Recast her with Atwell. Oh,
I believe Hayley Atwell is probably too old.
Yeah, she is.
oh
She's in
no.
her 40s, isn't she? She's in her 40s.
If Wonder Woman, Atwell was Wonder Woman, I don't think I'd get out of the cinema alive.
Thing is, though, you know, they should just
Oh.
cast an unknown as Wonder Woman. They really should, like Chris Reeves, because we didn't know who Chris Reeves was.
There you go. I'd give her one. Yeah.
Cast someone. Just cast someone really
For
cool.
about half a second in my head, I thought, you're saying, what, Chris Reeves is Wonder Woman? And then I thought, no.
No.
When this appeared on the twats, guess what started trending straight away? Because there was a lot of people not happy.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no.
Cavill, anything like that, yes, just trending to.
But
Well,
hold on.
It is a big fuck you to Henry Cavill, though, isn't it?
Well, they didn't like. Everybody knows they didn't like Henry Cavill because Henry Cavill stands for logic and
Professionalism.
professionalism,
Stuff,
and they don't like that. So the thing is, though, what I don't understand is what's all that talk about throwing away Zach's universe, and now they're saying that she's part of this one, and it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, you know?
No, I think they should have done a really clean break. They shouldn't have half the cast returning and half of them not. If you're really trying to reboot the whole thing, you don't bring back memories of the Snyderverse, which is what this will do.
Or alternatively, okay, this is the solution. If they're going to do this film, excuse me, if they're going to do this film, just say, look, okay, fans, this is James Gunn, yeah. Okay, fans, we're listening to what you say. We'll give you one more Cavill Superman as a big thank you to the fans. And that's it.
No,
Make $1 billion.
Millions, isn't it? I mean, they wouldn't do that because that's logic.
No,
They wouldn't
because
do
we
that.
wish it. That's why.
That's right.
Because you wish it.
Mm.
Okay. Is it going to happen then, this, do we think? It is.
I hope not. Find someone new. If you're rebooting the universe, reboot everybody.
Okay. Amelia Lizzo.
That's Wonder Woman.
I think Lizzo's in trouble anyway, so I think she's got bigger fish to fry, as it were, at the moment.
Yeah, so she can eat it.
Banana.
Banana in the tailpipe. Okay, should we move on? Yep.
They're going to make a film about Monopoly.
They are. I mean, there are so many fun ways you can do this. There are loads of them. Like, I did. My pitch on Twitter was. It starts off as this seemingly sort of family-friendly thing, and they're all sitting down to play a game of Monopoly. But then it devolves into this slightly supernatural, John Carpenter-esque thing when everyone starts hating each other and there's suspicions of supernatural possession, and then eventually it turns to bloodshed and they all kill each other. And then the dad force feeds his wife a bag of hotels because she won't pay, and then he kills her, and then he turns the gun on himself, and then. At long last, the final shot of the film is the camera just pans over this blood-stained floor onto the Monopoly board, right to the middle of the Monopoly board, and the Mr. Monopoly man in the middle just winks at the camera, and it cuts to black, and that's your Monopoly film. That could be really fun, but I don't know what they'll do with this, but I don't think it will be as fun as that.
Abject mediocrity. Do it as a Wolf of Wall Street style film.
So I don't understand. So if they make this film right, are they going to have a boot that comes to life and a dog that that wanders around talking about buying houses and stuff? Well, how's this going to work? You know what I mean? It makes no sense to me.
Here you go, Jay Goodwin. Plutz wants Monopoly Jumanji crossover. Yeah, that'll be all right.
I wouldn't be opposed. Jumanji was quite fun, from what I remember.
Yeah, I like Jumanji.
Yeah, I quite liked it. Yeah,
I like the remake as well. The remake.
Somebody's paying you a compliment, Lord.
Look, all I can say is if you've ever played a game of Monopoly with your family, you know what I'm talking about. That's much more true to life than you would think.
I've not played Monopoly in a long, long time. Here you go, Bank of Osman, Mr. Brown lines to me. If they did a zany with darker undertones, 30s style animated film, this could be good.
They can't because they're trying to attract the kids, right? Because is it Mattel? Is it Mattel that owns Monopoly? Who owns Monopoly these days?
I think it. Oh, is it? I'm not sure.
Is it Hasbro?
I think it's Hasbro. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
bought everything, didn't they?
Because they're for children, aren't they? They're aiming their stuff at kids, so that they won't make it dark. Although they should make it dark, to tell you the truth, because that'd be
Just
fun.
think of the number of capitalism jokes we're going to have to put up with.
Yeah. Here you go, Hasbro. Yeah. Because Hasbro bought everything, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I never thought that a Lego movie would work, but it worked.
Oh yeah, they did.
I thought it was quite funny, the first one. Yeah. So I don't know.
Here you go, Smilex. Ridley Scott was attached to this a decade ago. Wow.
Why?
Amelia Bedelia, I'm a banker. Trust me. Are you available? Oh, mind you, you live in Canada. Okay, I'll tell her about. Okay, so might be interesting. Yes.
I don't see how they can make this into a movie, to tell you the truth.
I think it will be difficult. I think the fact that it is so unsuited to a movie makes it potentially more interesting, just because you will have to go out of your way to try and create a story within it. So you could do so many interesting things. My idea was slightly tongue-in-cheek, but there are so many ways of bringing it to life that, I would be surprised, wouldn't be surprised, sorry, if this did turn out to be maybe better than we think. But that's not to say that it will be good. But it is part of this big trend at the moment. Almost like there's this huge number of genres now, or it's basically a genre of its own in filmmaking, which is just basically films as advertisements for products. So Barbie is arguably one of those. Super Mario is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
And the fact that both Mattel and Hasbro are looking into getting into filmmaking is basically just, hey, go watch the film, now buy the board game, please. I'm not opposed as long as they do find good, fun, interesting stories to do with them, which you can do. But it is quite a cynical motive, and it also probably weighs against the idea that they might find interesting things to do, is that they are principally interested in flogging product as opposed to telling stories. So we'll see.
I'd love a Halo film, but they fucked that, didn't they?
Yeah.
I really don't. I really, at this moment in time, I can't see how they can make this into a movie. As I said, is it going to be a boot? You usually get a boot. Was it a car, a dog, and the houses are red and blue? And
I was always the battleship.
It's like, yeah, how were you? I was always the boot for some reason.
You need the boot. Okay, let's move on.
What's this?
This one's surfaced again, folks.
Why?
Shinji Amaki confirms he directed an Alien v Predator anime series that is complete and locked away at Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Not much you can say about that then.
It's a stream killer, isn't it?
Yeah. Not much you can say about that.
I like that it took place on a ship used for immigration, which might be why Disney canned it, just because it's seen to be sensitive and hot button. I don't know. I don't know.
I like that.
Besides that, I know nothing about this, so there's not a huge amount to say.
The natural progression for aliens is that they come to Earth. That's the natural progression. If you're going to make another alien film, that's what you should do. They come to Earth. They kind of infest a small town, and then they keep growing and growing, and the Earth is in trouble. And then right at the very end of the show, the predators turn up. That's how it should end. That's how it should end.
They did slightly do that with, is it AVP2? So that's when the Predator ship crash lands.
That was awful.
After it, neither of those were particularly good. I think some of the action was quite interesting, but aliens are on Earth. That was the Icelandic pyramid. Oh god, stuff is coming back to me about those films. Yes. Okay.
Drew Gordon.
I like it. Maybe like this post-apocalyptic or like aliens apocalypse kind of thing, where like it's set in the far future after the aliens have made it to Earth, and so there's a band of humans surviving on this newly desecrated planet.
Not Brian. Apparently, Schofield and Edwards.
Well, that's what they should do, right? Because the last one, which was really awful, not the one with Sigourney Weaver and Ryder, the last one, they actually reached Earth. So they can continue from that point on and still have Sigourney Weaver, and it could be years later that she's a lot older, as the clone version, and aliens actually invade, Earth. And that could be a good story, but they're not going to do that. They're stupid.
we've triggered Swap Shop. I bet there's no ESG content, so they'll never release it.
Yeah, probably.
But it can be much less thought through than that. I think the mere fact that it's on a ship used for immigration, as mentioned in that tweet, is probably enough for a corporation. Honestly, they will take an incredibly cautious approach to anything, even related to a sensitive political issue that they don't like. So it's fine to push the transgender, but it's not fine if you can maybe mention an immigration ship that the right wing can use against you. That is enough to cancel it. I had an ad contract cancelled in a video because I took the piss out of furries during Pride Month. Corporations are incredibly sensitive, and this is Disney, which is probably more sensitive than most.
Joe Darkness, Aramaki did some really great anime, Appleseed, etc. There you go. Okay, so we're never going to see it.
We're not.
Let's move on.
Oh.
This was released in the States this week, wasn't it? Is it released over here too?
Yeah, it is. It's here.
Does anybody care about this? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem opens 43.
Actually, is it over here? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think Cynic cares, but I don't care because I have taste. So
I don't know. I mean, I hear this one's really bad. I hear it's got crap in it. So, and also the animation. I'm not a fan of that kind of animation, to tell you the truth. But it's one of the reasons why I didn't go see that Spider Miles Morales film, because I don't like that style of animation.
Really, I thought the animation was one of the things I quite liked about it, but
made me feel sick.
Oh, yeah, no, I could see why. It's
3D. I was watching it in 3D. I was like, bleh.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't help.
There you go. Jay Goodwin in the bin, yeah. Black Lives.
The thing is, though, they look better than the other film, the one where they looked really ugly. Who was it directed by? Michael Bay. The Michael Bay version, oh my God. They looked scary, didn't they? They really did.
I think it's better than the Michael Bay version is probably just a truism. Like, it's true of everything. Everything is better than the Michael Bay version. I like the trend, though, in animation. I like that animation is becoming a little bit more imaginative. It's not always the same sort of boring CGI hellscape thing. They are trying new things to make them visually distinctive. I don't like this style particularly, but I've not seen the film. Maybe it works better in motion. I thought Spider-Verse was very artistically creative. I didn't see it in 3D though, and I imagine that probably makes a difference.
Yeah, I saw it before it was released. The first one over here, and the animators came up on stage and spoke about it and stuff like that. But I was really surprised that everyone said it was such genius writing, because I was like, no, it wasn't.
Oh no, the writing was not. No.
Yeah, because there were a lot of people was like, script is brilliant. I'm like, no, really wasn't. So I don't know. This looks. I don't know. I don't think I'll go and see it, tell you the truth.
I don't care.
I just always assumed that because there's a subset of 80s comics inspired things which I just don't get on with. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of them. And so that I assumed I'd be in the minority and not giving a shit about this because I find the concept a bit cringy. But maybe it's a more general point. I don't know how popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is these days.
Well, in America, my friend in New York, they had a screening of the first film, the Jim Henson movie. And my friend is a huge fan, and he tried to get in, but he couldn't. The cinema was packed. He wanted to see the very first one. I think they did it to promote this one. So, there are still fans out there of Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Here you go, Cosmic Castaway. This one's for you, Lord.
Watch Kill La Kill?
What's
or
that?
Kill L.A. Kill. I don't know. I've not heard of it. I'll have to look it up.
I think that's one for the list then.
My list is endless. The chances of me actually getting to the bottom of it in my lifetime are pretty small.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Nobody cares, ultimately. Apart from Cynic.
Ding, 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 ding.
Giancarlo Esposito. I am deeply saddened by the passing of my dear friend and dynamic human, Mark Margolis. You made me laugh, made me cry, doubled over with laughter, but more than anything, you made me think. Always honest, always true. I will miss you. I am grateful to have had time with you. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding.
exactly. Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff, isn't he? He's one of those actors that when you see his face, you don't know his name.
He was in
That's
an
the thing.
episode of Star Trek Next Generation.
He
which
was,
wasn't-
yeah.
Which,
He
yeah.
was. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Hector Loron. Yeah. Great actor. Here you go, Jay Goodwin. He was great in Scarface. Was he in Scarface?
He was in
Okay.
Scarface, yeah. He's a good actor.
Good in Better Call Saul. He was in that.
He was in a lot of stuff. He was in The Blacklist. He's been in a lot of TV shows, loads and loads. So, yeah, good actor. It's a shame he's gone.
I think he was in his 80s.
He was.
Was he 82?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, so here we go. Sorry. Secret comedy timing. M Duke. 83 is a good life. It is. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Okay, so
I'd love to live up to 90 something.
the old fella's 95. Okay.
Fantastic.
Right, okay. Shall we move on then? So rest in peace, Mark Margolis. Ding 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 ding. Anybody see this?
I did, yes.
Thousands of teens descend on Union Square Park in NYC after a famous Twitch streamer held a PS5 giveaway. He was arrested, wasn't he?
He did a what?
He was doing he said to all his Twitch streamers, we're going to be giving some PlayStation 5s away.
I think it was more than that. It was gaming PCs as well.
Was it? Okay.
A big tech giveaway, and he just
K
announced it on
Sennett.
Twitch and said,
K
"Hey, come
Sennett is his name.
to this place in New York. It'll be free." And so, what happens when you announce in a city like New York that there's free stuff?
Riots.
Loads of people turn up and they start rioting because cities are shit.
12 people injured, 65 people arrested, including Sennett, 30 of whom were juveniles, and the NYPD are going to throw the book at him.
Good. Mind you, it's not the only time a Twitch streamer has been mentioned in the same name as theft. So, there is that. I absolutely hate them. They are cancer. Twitch streamers, that is, as well as certain people in New York.
Here you go, Tom. I watched one of his videos, Unbearable Brain Damage.
God, I wish somebody would stop doing that.
Drew Gordon, yeah, here we go. Thinking Man's joke. Mega City 1 is cool, though. Very good. Very good.
I'm going to be there soon. I'm going to be there end of September in New York. I'm going to New York in September.
Okay.
Well, you should announce a free tech giveaway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Times Square and I'm going to be giving away free PCs and PS5s, and you'll get thousands of people there, and it'll be really exciting until you get
Why
arrested.
don't you do one, Lord? Give your Cyberdyne Systems computer that doesn't work. Give that away.
Because I have principles. I don't like giving things away that don't work.
Okay, you heard it first, folks. Principles.
You don't like it.
Here you go. Common people escape from New York 2023. Very good.
But what an idiot to do that, though. Why would you do that? Lie and say that.
Well, I don't think it was a lie. I think he was actually planning on giving away this stuff, but
he's got a stupid amount of followers on the Twitch.
Lots of Twitch streamers do that. They sit there, they watch other people's videos, they get millions of followers and millions of dollars,
and make shitloads of money.
They make a huge amount of money. They buy all of the expensive stuff. Then they turn around and say, "Oh, well, of course I'm a socialist, don't you know?" And there was a video of this guy in the back of a van. I think it was. I don't know if it was a police van or some protection van. Anyway, looking out of the window and basically saying, "Isn't it great? They're all like fighting in solidarity." I think that's not what's happening. This is mob behavior and complete social decay. What are you talking about, you idiot?
Here you go. Bank of Hostman Hassan should be sent to Iraq. See how he likes it then.
But what was his plan, though? He said he was going to give away, and
to look good.
It just,
his plan was to get his name in the front of newspapers and
right.
online
Well, he is.
websites and be talked about all over social media, and it's worked. So credit
For the
to the
wrong
guy.
reasons, yeah.
Nobody knows quite how to grift like a Twitch streamer, so he's doing a very good job.
Well, he'll probably have a long time to think about it when he's bending down for the soap in the
Oh, he'll
showers.
get out.
How does it come to this that people?
I don't know, Ian.
They so crave attention. It's absolutely ridiculous to the extent that they do this.
Mm.
I don't understand how it's come to this.
Well,
Was
it's
people
a-
really that lonely before
Well-
the advent of the internet?
well, I will say
Evidently,
it's a kick,
yes.
Huh.
it's a kick in the bollocks to anybody who's got even an ounce of talent and doesn't get anywhere. But anyway, let's move on.
Move along.
Move along. Hello, Rennie.
Oh, not this stupid woman who's talking bollocks. Seriously.
She deserves to be paid for every second we sail the seven seas. Wow.
Seriously.
Every time
Seriously.
she opens her mouth, something completely
Yeah.
self-absorbed and unself-aware comes out. I mean, it's
22.
I know, but she is the epitome of everyone's worst impression of 22-year-olds. That's her. I mean, she's just staggeringly self-obsessed, narcissistic, and entitled. You're
hold
wearing
on.
a dress on a screen. You're well paid for it. Stop complaining. Get back to work.
But listen, right, what makes me laugh is that she's all right
spoken.
looking, right? She's okay. You wouldn't, bust a gut to,
not my.
but she's up against Gal Gadot. So what's Gal Gadot going to say in the mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the first on the wall? It's you. Okay, end of film. Do you know what I mean?
End of the film.
Yeah, exactly. What is the point of the movie? It really makes no sense. Anyway, silly, very silly.
Nobody watches Disney Plus anyway, so she's fucked.
Well, she's doing her best to make sure it never even makes it to Disney Plus. I mean, honestly, the amount of ill will she will be generating from this, and it won't just be from online sort of right-wing reactionary types. It'll be from basically normal people who look at her statements and say, hang on a minute, why are you trying to turn Snow White into a young woman's feminist ideal of power hungriness?
Well,
Because that's the first one that she said, is that, of course, it's not 1943 anymore. She's not going to be craving after a prince. She's going to be about leadership. So you're craving power. That's how you've read that story and you've said, you know what the problem with that is? The hero was not a villain. That's the problem. So now I'm going to make her a power-hungry maniac.
But it's not Snow White then. If you're gonna make that
somebody
story,
said off-white.
Yeah, it's not Snow White because
Right.
how can it be Snow White if you've changed the story? It's not the story of Snow White. So I don't understand why they're calling it Snow White.
Here you go, Red Side. That is not beauty. That is illness. Oof, brutal.
Thing is, they're all drinking the Kool-Aid down there, aren't they? All of them. It's ridiculous.
I think she more than others. So I
She's
don't remember
young.
when The Little Mermaid was coming out. I don't remember this level of it's almost projection. She's working very, very hard to compensate for something. And she's being
Small breasts.
incredibly abrasive as she's doing that. She's being objectionable. She's being egotistical. And she is being about as off-putting as it's possible for a young woman to be. I don't remember that being true even of The Little Mermaid. We were all told that, of course, you have to support it because, hey, diversity is good. But the cast in that, Hailey Bailey didn't come out every single day and start saying, oh, yeah, well, I want this, that, the other, and if you don't respect me, then you're evil, and I want more money and give me all the money, because that's really what it's all about. No, she's just a bitch. Absolute bitch.
Even Gal Gadot, I saw an interview with her and Gal Gadot was agreeing with her. My God, what are these people on? How could you sit there and say all that crap? We don't have 7 dwarfs anymore. We have, what do we have?
Magical
Do you know what I
people,
mean?
was it now? Is that what they called them?
What are they on?
Certain channels, there is a rumor going that Disney know Snow White and the politically correct 7 people is a dud, and they're trying to bin it.
They definitely are.
They know it's a dud.
Well, it's is it? So who's the guy that runs it again? Bob Iger. He's is it Bob Iger? I can't remember the fellow's name.
Iger. Let's call the whole thing off.
Well, he according to Doomcock rumors, and I love Doomcock rumors.
Pinch of salt, everybody.
Exactly. He was always against this nonsense, but he couldn't stop it for various reasons, and now he's got a chance to stop it all. he's firing people left, right, and center.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
they
imagine it was
deserve it
green
too.
lit under the previous incumbent. Is it Bob Chapek was the one
Yeah.
who was there? I imagine that's when this came about. And Bob Chapek was much more in bed with activist tendencies and much more keen to see them put on the screen. Bob Iger, I think, is more of a businessman and is starting to recognize how toxic this kind of thing is. But it probably is. It might well be too late to stop this particular one. But hell, I'm looking forward to taking it apart because I don't normally mind. I try to avoid like making very personal attacks on actors and actresses generally because they don't deserve it. They're there. They're doing a job. But if they're inviting them and if they are really basically saying this is all about me, then you are making yourself fair game. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
She began by saying, I want to be left out of the nonsensical discourse around the film. And then she went around generating nonsensical discourse and putting herself at the center of everything. So you get what you ask for.
I think you would do very well if that ever gets released.
The thing is, it's not going to be in a cinema, is it?
I think it's Disney Plus. Yeah, so not cinema.
Well, there you go. So,
well, then she's not going to get any money at all, then, is she?
Well, that's her complaint. She's standing there saying that she wants to be paid for every second that thing is on screen on streaming because she's working hard standing there in that dress. That's her argument. So if she gets her way, and if the Actors Guild gets their way, and if the Writers Guild get their way in the strikes, then she will be paid for that. But that's probably the reason they won't get their way.
Why doesn't Pirate Bay do subscriptions and then she might get some money?
Also, is she talking about it now? I thought actors weren't allowed to talk about projects because of the strike.
They're not allowed to promote them, and I don't think what she's saying can be classed as promoting the project.
She's promoting itself.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, in the bin. This was a late entry, folks, for in the bin. This was sent to me on the twats. Here we go. Anybody see this?
She's been airbrushed. What does that mean?
Okay. The Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle, right, is removing all reference to J.K. from the Harry Potter displays.
But they can't do that though because she owns the copyright and she's so they have to have permission to actually display her stuff. So I don't understand how they can do this because she owns the copyright, so she could put a stop
project
to it at any moment.
This is in Seattle, everybody. Project manager Chris Moore, who is
gay by any chance,
Rand's Ender, wrote in this piece, there's a certain cold, heartless, joy-sucking entity in the world of Harry Potter, and this time it is not actually Dementor. I have no idea what that means.
A Dementor is an evil spirit thing in Harry Potter that sucks people's souls out.
But I think what it should be is the trans activists on Twitter who aren't actually Harry Potter fans at all. They just want to rant at her whenever she opens her mouth, it would appear.
I mean, it's another example of staggering narcissism. These people presume that Harry Potter, the world of Harry Potter they value so much, can exist without its creator. Well, there's an argument. You can have an argument about death of the author in this regard as to whether the thing can exist independently of her. Nevertheless, it couldn't exist without her to begin with. She is the person who wrote it. She created it. She is the reason they fell in love with it. And now, based on quotes they haven't read and articles they haven't read, they've got a misunderstanding of what J.K. Rowling actually thinks on this issue. And because they are much more keen to be seen to be politically in the club, they are happy to effectively be giant misogynists and try and cancel her from her own creation, which is not new in America. The New York Times ran ads on the New York subway with basically saying, can you imagine the book without its creator? The New York Times published advertisements basically saying, yeah, we want to take Harry Potter away from you, you evil transphobic wench. Burn the witch, which is the ironic statement that these people are basically putting out. It's par for the course. I think its time is limited and it won't work particularly well because most people have quite a high opinion of J.K. Rowling, if only because they read the books growing up. And the activists' obsession with her reveals them to be nasty, mean-spirited, and idiotic people.
No, but hold on. I still don't understand how this person can do this because he doesn't own the copyright to it. She's in charge, right? So I don't understand. Like, for
Hmm.
instance, if they are selling books and they told the publisher to remove her name off the books, they can't do that because she owns the copyright. And
does. I
so I
wonder
don't
if there is an
understand.
exception for a museum, though. Given that
No, they
museums
wouldn't
aren't
be.
technically, I wouldn't be surprised if they were, because museums aren't publishing. Museums are effectively archives, and
Yeah, but
archives
you're
don't tend to operate on the same
yeah,
grounds.
but if you're dealing with someone's IP and you've asked permission to use it, then that person can pull that IP as far as I understand via law, it can pull that IP anytime they want. And so if she gets wind of this, she can shut that section down in the museum, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some exception. It might even be under the grounds of fair use because it's for educational purposes as opposed to commercial. Whether the museums are allowed to effectively host works as educational properties as opposed to commercial ones, which gets out from the whole copyright issue. I don't know. It would be interesting to look into. Otherwise, she can just sue them and make sure it doesn't happen. But
I think this is just crap news. I don't think this is true, real at all.
No, it's true. It is.
On the internet.
No, well, yeah, it's the internet. It's true. Yeah, I did my research. I read the article on. It's on Deadline.
Yeah, it's on Deadline, but Deadline you never know. It might be a lie.
No,
I imagine it's
Deadline.
true.
Yeah, it's
it
true,
just might not work. So I would not be at all surprised to find the museum wants to do this. Whether they are allowed to do it is another question.
Yeah. Chris Moore is the project manager, and it's as I said, Seattle. What was it? Seattle something or other. Yeah. That's it. Sorry, folks. The Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle.
They should have more respect for pop culture, those people.
They should. It's just another blatant case of men trying to erase women.
Okay, so that's this week's Get in the Bin, the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle, and specifically Chris Moore in the bin. Yeah. Get in the bin. Okay.
And finally.
Okay. And finally, Lord, you've not been here for a few weeks, have you?
No, 2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
It's 3, isn't it?
It might be. To be honest, I have no idea what time is doing at the moment. So yes, let's say 3.
Okay. We did Blue Man's last week. Obviously, it was. I wanted to do this the other week, but you weren't here. It was at 150. 151 subscribers. That's K, everybody.
That's a lot of people.
It's
That's
not going too badly.
Well done.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot of people. I mean, how did you hypnotize all of them to actually subscribe?
Magic. I've learned from J.K. Rowling. It's all a spell.
Oh, well done, mate. Seriously,
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I tried to listen to that 3-hour one. I think we got 15 minutes in.
Yeah, there will be some shorter ones coming. I think when Ahsoka comes out, I'm probably going to do that episode by episode. So those will be, I say shorter, they'll be about an hour probably. But
I know somebody.
Barbie is 2.5 hours. That's the next one.
Yeah, I know somebody that listened to it and said that it was as funny as hell. So I've got to listen to the rest of it. Apparently.
It's all about, some people have time, some people don't. It's a different audience. Like I have my audience very much is the kind that will have time either to watch it in segments or they have time to watch the whole thing. It's not as approachable as a shorter video, but it's not really meant to be. It's a different genre really. But it's going all right. It's going all right.
Here you go. Black lives or black votes. Platoon used his white British privilege. He did.
If I get to 1 million, I'm becoming Emperor of America. So look forward to that.
Bijou, yeah.
Yeah, no, well done. I mean,
it's great, isn't it?
He'll surpass some drinker one day. You never know.
He's nearly
that's
2.
Unlikely, but
drinkers put. I think he's done 800,000 in less than a year.
There's a rumor he might turn up on the 6th of September as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah,
it'd be nice to meet him.
Yeah. He's not going to turn that down because he can just hop on the train, can't he?
Yeah, I guess. So it's going to be interesting.
Here you go, Jay Goodwin. That's why at Mr. Brown Alliance can't hit 151K. He's Jamaican, Mom. Yes, I know.
Yes, you're all racists.
You're all racists. I will say as well, happy birthday, Jamaica. It was Jamaica Day yesterday. It's birthday.
Jamaica?
It was trending Jamaica.
No, she went on her own call.
So I had to have a look at it. Yes. Yeah, on Jamaica. Okay.
Oh, dear.
I've got a lot of catching up to do, Lord.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. It's all fine.
I'm scratching about in the dirt for 2,900.
You'll get there. It'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah, I'll send you some work to do for the Mandalorian one. And working in proper shout outs and stuff.
Can you
so
send me some subs as well?
Well, that's the idea.
We want to do
yeah.
this
If I
12-hour mega stream, don't we?
integrate the shout out properly, then hopefully you'll get a few more people coming over. And if the video takes off, obviously that will be good. But yeah.
Yes, because I'm a good boy. I gladly show the respect where respect is deserved. And 151,000 is pretty fucking good, to be fair, isn't it? Considering
Do you get
bad.
one of those plaques?
Yeah, I've got
Or
the
have you
silver
got
one
one
sitting
already?
over next to me.
Alright.
Yeah, I got that in January, I think it was. So you get that for 100,000.
Oh, okay. That's good, I guess.
Yeah, but you don't get another one until you hit 1 million, I think. So I've got a way to go before I get the gold one.
You'll get it though. I don't really need your monetized tiers. Sorry. Iceman, Brown do shorts. You'll get 1 million views.
Yeah, but I don't think they actually generate many subs, and they don't generate revenue. So they do get a huge amount of views, but whether it's pointful views, I don't know. I object to any video. Any video under an hour to me is a short. So like you'll never see me doing those.
YouTube just don't like live streams. Full stop. That's it. Yeah.
Well, they sort of do. It's just YouTube goes through fads. So YouTube went for a very short time promoting really long videos, and it went for a really short time promoting shorts. It will go through another really short time promoting streams. If, say, Rumble takes off as a competitor, you'll see YouTube move much more towards streams again. YouTube doesn't mind streams. It's just that you have to separate them off from your general content if you do other content as well. But also, there are many, many streamers, so it's harder to stand out, I think. But
you got a Rumble account, Ian? So
I've got one. Yeah, I could link it to Rumble, but I've got nothing.
Yeah,
on it.
You should have put some of your shows on there because apparently a lot of people do watch stuff on Rumble. So
yeah, it's growing quite quickly, isn't it? I think the quartering just moved over to Rumble most of like full time.
Yeah, so
quartering talentless.
You don't like him?
Well,
you don't like him?
I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos.
I've got nothing personal
against
him. Yeah, let's just read articles all day and get 10 trillion fucking subscribers.
A lot of people do that though, don't they? They read from an article. I mean, even who's that other guy? He looks like a thug. What's his name? He's got tattoos and what's that guy's name? Anybody remember?
Well, that narrows it down.
He looks
as
no,
Gary
Count Dankula.
No, that's it. What's his name? Mr. H. Mr. H.
Oh.
Where his name?
Oh yeah, Mr. H reviews. Yeah, he looks like he'll
doesn't he?
nut you. Yeah.
He looks like he can smack you in the head.
Sorry, Browns. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. Sour grapes.
Yeah, he's
better than bottom grapes. Sorry, ma'am.
Sometimes he's good, sometimes he isn't. There's a lot of YouTubers I watch, but sometimes I just can't watch all
Pitbull.
of it. Who's Pitbull? Sorry.
No idea.
No idea.
I've heard of Pitbull.
I mean, just out of interest, which YouTubers do you watch religiously? For me, I religiously watch EFAP and Sitch and Adam.
Yeah.
Really good content.
I watch Nerdrotic.
I only watch the Noonas. I watch Platoon. I watch Blue Boy's stream because I think he's quite funny most of the
Blue
time.
Man's
Anyway.
all right. Yeah.
I watch Noona, Nerderotic Noona, and I watch Dave Cullen.
Dave Cullen.
When I see him on, I'll watch them.
I also enjoy the B-Sups as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should go back on that one day.
B-Sup's on tomorrow. Are you on tomorrow, Lord? B-Sup?
Yeah, I think Morl's coming on. I don't know if Drink is coming on because it's Cynic's 100k thing. We didn't get to do it last week, so we'll do it this time. So I don't know what he's got planned, but I think he has something planned. So we'll have some people on. I don't know
All
what we're
the big
talking about
boys, yeah.
either, but yeah, we'll see
But
what
if you have
happens.
space, let me know.
I will do so. Yeah.
I'm around. Yeah.
If you have space, let me know. Obviously, I'm not big enough. I watch EFAP.
What are you on about? We
Platoon
had
and
you on.
Brown
We invite you on all the
Lions.
time, and you kept saying no, and then you did come on, and then you haven't come on again.
Yeah.
I don't. Anyway,
He's scared. He's
I don't feel like I have anything to add. That's the problem.
Well, you have
I'm
just as
shy,
much to add as
everybody.
everybody else.
I'm
Brown,
shy, everybody.
you're not shy at all. Stop it.
Oh, I know you. As I said, I know you guys love talking about this.
Like, well, what?
I just kind of see things at my ripe old age of whatever.
What are you talking about?
Slightly different, because a lot of the stuff you're never going to get it back, and it's upsetting. And most of the time, I've kind of moved on. Yeah, but that's just me. Sorry,
Okay.
guys. Stream killer. I've had too many disappointments from my entertainment, and the Star Trek Rhapsody this week was just the final kick in the bollocks.
Just what you call it. Just join the club, mate, because we're all disappointed in it. But the thing is, though, it's therapeutic to talk about it. That's the
It
thing.
is. It is. Common people. This is real money, folks. In at the death, £50.
You see, you know what? You moan and groan, but people are giving you money and they're watching your show, right?
I'm just.
You should be grateful.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm more grateful than you can ever imagine.
Well, say it then.
Yeah. I love you guys. I love you. Stop crying, kid.
That's right.
Don't worry, I'll
tell him.
jump out the window later, then I'll start crying. Common people, so generous. Thank you, my
I mean,
friend.
I remember when you started, Ian, and you were just this tiny little channel before we even knew the Lord or Blue Boy or even Z. Do you know what I mean? When you were tiny.
I've only been on Brown for the last 2 years, and when we
Sorry?
started, we had an audience in the tens.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and now you've got almost what is it?
We've had a steady.
3K?
I don't think I really. I know Melvin. I will say Melvin Deeply is really looking out for me, and I appreciate everything that Melvin does.
Yeah.
In the background. I posted the link up for the show today, and literally within minutes, Melvin had tweeted it.
You could have gone the way of the other fella. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you didn't. So there you go.
Yeah, we are a work in progress. As I said before, if I want more subs, but at the moment there's a sweet spot of intimacy, as it were.
Just be grateful.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like
Brown. Yeah, Brown likes it close and sweaty and personal.
Yes. Personal, yes. Yeah. Okay. So congratulations, the Lord, Little Platoon.
Thank you.
Old Benjamin himself.
And again, I'd like to apologize for calling you the Lord, because now
he's the Lord.
The Lord.
Everyone does it. Yes,
it's the Lord. He's the Lord.
It's not good.
151,000 disciples. You should call them disciples.
Will you be that would be incredibly egotistical. I'm not Jared Leto. I don't think I'm Jesus.
Will you be breaking bread and drinking Johnny Walker?
He's always drinking Johnny Walker. What are you talking about?
I've actually run out. No, but I'll have to pick some up for tomorrow. I think.
You have had a bad day, haven't you?
I've had a bad week. So yes.
Okay. I think that's it, folks. That is it. Barbie, she's done $1 billion. No wonder she's smiling. I will say we got part 3 of RoboCop on Wednesday. Apparently, I've done the
Is it true
time.
you only got through the first 13 minutes in part 1?
14.
Yes, 13.
Yeah.
Was it 13?
I was there for the first part. Yeah, couldn't make the second part. I will make the third part though.
Yeah, we see RoboCop this week. So apparently, the start time's incorrect. I'll look into that. Thank you, Amelia Bedelia. That is it. Don't forget that's 10 p.m. on Wednesday. Ruin Johnson will be presenting. Well, basically, we're padding it out until Ahsoka. So that's it, folks. Chat, you are the best. You know that. You are the best. We will see you next time. Always appreciate the wonderful interaction. Thanks, boys and girls. I will thank the guests. The mighty Paul Chatto. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Paul. Great to have you on. Vex Electronica. You. Cheers, Vex. Z3PO. Cheers, my friend.
Thank you as always, and thanks to the chat and the other panel members. It's always a pleasure being with you guys.
Cheers, buddy. The Mega Geek, Ian David Diaz. Cheers, Ian.
No worries.
And the Lord himself, Little Platoon, Benjamin 151K. Cheers, Lord.
Always good to be on and lovely to be back. So thank you for having me.
Great to have you on, mate. I think that is it. We will see you Wednesday. Beast up tomorrow, the 100K celebration. Sounds like some mighty guests are going to be on that. So I think that is it. We're back Wednesday. If we don't see you tomorrow or Wednesday, we'll see you next weekend. Have a great week. Take care, everybody. Take care, everybody. Timing.
You're like
Is
the
it
kind of person
time?
who just